And we are off to the races here. Nouns and Party Astronauts squaring off.
Whoa.
Window broken early. Rush has got a kill. 6C down and out of play. That was mid-peak coming through from old Rusherino. And Nouns running the 4-stack in mid. This is what they like to do on Inferno. Pretty much every Inferno CT pistol. So if you don't know what's coming, well, don't know what you've been watching. Fang gets one. He's been traded. Ben and Wolfie able to bring this back, and now it just falls to Carson, who's here in the bedroom. Oh, okay, my goodness. Wolfie. And he's now got the bomb. Can't let him do this to you. Oh, Carson eventually run down, but this has come down to a clutch that never should have been. The chase on in was so unnecessary. They had full site control. And PA have no one to blame but themselves for this being a one-on-one clutch.
Wow.
There's a kit. George has retrieved that. He's got the dualies. He's got armor. And Ben had no idea of his timing, so he hasn't felt comfortable to move off the site itself. But of course, George does not know that. Oh, now he does. Now he does. There's the first dink out, and the second shot lands. Defuse on, and Nouns got the pistol in.
Yeah, this is the type of messiness that can happen with the Party Astronauts sometimes. Wolfie didn't need to be jumping across into window room. He literally, like you said, just should have gone to the bomb site. It was already cleared out. Go and plant that bomb. Don't chase a frag that you don't need to. And instead, Carson not only gets that one, but the follow-up as well. It's actually a really good shot from Carson, by the way. And then George has the information, so he quickly rotates around. He was all the way over at the B site, but he's able to close that ground very rapidly because of the call-out from Carson. So, 1-0 in favor of Nouns. I mean, they've been on Inferno a lot lately. Yes, they've been on the losing end more often than not, but they could pull off something against the Party Astronauts because they've got so many reps on this map. Eventually, you find a way to victory. George, down to about half health in that Molotov. He's spotted up by Fang. This should be an easy clear for Fang. He steps his toes into the Molotov to try and catch George off guard. And it doesn't really pan out. Now, a couple of shots rattled through the smoke, but Nouns are just going to hold their ground here. George at the sandbags. I feel like they have to clear this. Nouns always love to do this type of play with having the player pushed up pretty aggressively. And they have the support coming from Top Banana. There it is. Hard cleared. Good on 6E. Nate comes out. 6 should be dead. He is not. Wow, he dodged that with 4 HP left. And he may be able to chase down a frag here onto Junior. No, Junior hits the shot. Now they can't do much more as Wolfie is able to get one onto Junior. Carson trapped, but he still manages to get one, maybe even more. Yeah, they're low. Carson with the pistol connects onto Wolfie. Fang could be next here. He's trying to outplay Carson, but the movement... Oh, Infinite's coming in on the flank. Infinite gets it onto CJ. 2v2 and now a 2v1. This is a frenetic pace. Fang with 2 HP, the last standing.
Did I forget Fang's here? Surely not.
No.
I mean, not now. No problem. The adjustment from Carson almost looked like he wasn't aware the player was in between the oranges. Wow. I think Party Astronauts got a little too excited in that one.
Yeah.
It feels right now like Party Astronauts are a bomb delivery service to try and put the C4 at Carson's feet as often as possible.
It's
again,
weird.
just like a lot of jumping around corners. I get it, you've got SMGs, you're low percentage, you can clear out the new box player, but there's no need to rush that much. I think Party Astronauts maybe need to just breathe a little bit, because they're doing great things in these rounds. And then maybe panicking before they close. It's hectic, I think would be the word. Frenetic pace was a good one as well. Let's see. It's just the pistols in this one. Not expecting much. Not getting much.
No. Well, bomb is dropped again at the feet of Nouns. It's just, you gotta be, little details that are being looked over for sure by the Party Astronauts. The bomb shouldn't be on the first player out, or even the second one. Just keep it at the back line so that if something happens on the front, you can still recover, maybe get something done. But, I mean, it is just pistol save round, so not that big of a deal for the Party Astronauts, but it has been a big deal in the previous 2 rounds. Alright, well, this one's probably over. Wolfie doing a little bit of damage on the tail end of this round, but the odds of him succeeding in anything more than that are staggeringly low.
Yeah, I mean, 1 kill here would be nice. 2 would be really nice. 3? 3? In this economy? There's the one.
Okay.
Okay. Hold on. Spots the next. At this range, good luck. Oh, he's going to get it. All right,
wow,
you know what?
Nice.
Well done.
Not bad.
That's money made. That's going to be an op for sure if he wants it. That is 2 big kills coming through. $600 from the SMG kill as well. Quite nice. And yeah, he's going to put that straight into the big green. A lot more utility behind it. Hand armor as well. No limitations on it. All right, Wolfie. See if he can get off of the races in this one.
Yeah, no, that was really well done from Wolfie, who has been their highest rated player, one of their highest rated players over the last month or so, which is, you know, telling because he typically has had his struggles in terms of consistency, but to be able to contribute on a consistent basis is something that certainly the Party Astronauts need from him, especially with the AWP. Party Astronauts going for the boost into window now. 1:35 on the clock. 60. Looking to clear out boiler, and this is a good approach from the Party Astronauts. Now they have the guns back in their hands. Going to be quite methodical. Nouns are playing it very passively, though. The only one that's up close here at that bracket is Junior with an A1S. Didn't have enough money, or actually does have enough money, but of course doesn't have to buy up the op just yet. Incendiary thrown forward. Rush, flashbang out. And the Party Astronauts look like they might be changing their minds. That would be surprising, though. I don't think so. They have so much bracket control that they're probably going to commit to this, Mike.
And especially with this deep utility on Banana, right? Take you so long to go back and clear it. There's only 50 seconds left. You got to make a move. Rush, the flashbang's perfect. Flash. He gets 2. Is actually Junior from the other side who peeked on in. A little awkward on this exchange. The tag up is good, and Infinite's able to punish, but there's the trade. They still got a pit player to contend with. There's a Molotov for it. CJ. The Molly actually goes too deep. Molly goes too deep. Bit of an awkward angle to throw. Now 60 knows he's in a lot of trouble. 30 seconds. No health. No util.
Really?
Perhaps a bomb down, but it's scoping up. He doesn't anticipate the swing, and George will catch.
Surprised he picked up the op, but I guess I understand it because no one had shown face yet, so you can get one with the op and then pick up the rifle afterwards, try and go for the 1v1.
I think that's because he was low.
Maybe.
I think he in his head he said Bogdan.
Well, this flash, I mean, CJ's not necessarily known for his support utility, but that was a great flash. It helped 2 frags come through. Then he's able to, I think, at least stay alive long enough for George to connect on one of the players. Ends up going down, but his impact on that round cannot be understated. As Nouns pick up a 4th, and the Party Astronauts will be back to an eco round. It's going to feature 4 Tech 9s and the Mac 10. Likely going to be a quick push after these smokes fade away. Do they have the flashes? They do. They have a couple of them. They need to use one here immediately. In fact, they use both of them to try and pincer into bracket, and no one's home. So the flashes go to waste. Junior hits an opening shots, only takes a little bit of damage, and then Infinite, as he's trying to get through there, I'm not sure if that was team damage or not, but it doesn't matter. It was team damage, in fact. 60 finding him, and Carson trying to stay alive to finish off a second frag here. Incendiary thrown at the feet of 60, and 60 doesn't care. Charges right on through. Could do even more damage here. Bomb gonna get planted. 60 does! How does he get a second?
I have no idea how he's won out that duel. Now this gets really interesting because they actually know they can't rotate through CT, right? So they just got to deal with this. Bomb's ticking away. This is now a viable round. There's still a Molotov on Fang. Fang's the player over towards Tree. And I know these retake smokes, but even if they smoke off the cross, which is what they've done. He's just going to burn the molly early to try and stall them out.
There's a gap.
It was an incendiary as well, so it's actually not going to last very long. But he slipped through. They don't have time. They don't have time. They don't have time. Party Astronauts may all go up and smoke with this bomb, but you know what? It's going to be 100% worth it. This was pistols. This was pistols. This was 60 with a Mac 10 and a Tech 9. And somehow he has upended this round. How is that the round that PA get on the board?
I don't know. That is so weird. Just 60 flexing his muscles. I mean, it felt like he was in a really tough spot. There was an incendiary thrown right at his feet. He swings around into it with the Tech 9, gets past it because it's a lot smaller now, of course, in terms of its radius than it used to be. And I mean, you see the impact of that. He just goes right past it, is already through, and then gets the headshot immediately without taking much damage. And I mean, the more impressive thing is the second frag. He's at mid-range with a MAC-10 up against an M4, and he somehow pulls that off, which takes all the presence off of that B site, leads to the plant, and the other three, I mean, they just couldn't find a path forward. The utility was there, picked up off the ground by the party astronauts to stave off Nouns. So, yeah, I'm as surprised as you are, Mike, that that's the first round they pick up, but there we have it. No, there's the incendiary coming through, and they're flashed at the same time, so they stand in for too long. Wolfie waiting, gets Carson, trade comes through, but it's better for PA, not anymore!
Oh,
Rush
no.
gets 3!
Oh no, PA! Mental lapse there. Not expecting the third. Not ready for it at all. Just swinging in, trying to get ahead of themselves here. You need to know, especially early in the round, so many teams bring that third over. What a punish. What a play from Rush. Tremendous effort. He has been the Inferno god for this team. Really has been a consistent performer here. 11-2 against his old comrades. And now, smoke up as they sit on this bomb. I mean, not really sure what that smoke's supposed to accomplish.
Not much.
But it will lead Infinite in towards his death. 4 in the round. Rush stacking them high.
If I had to wager a guess, probably trying to smoke the bomb to pick it up, I would imagine. Hoping that no one would be nearby, and I think there was another smoke still in the vicinity, so he was hoping that there would be a little bit of a wall he could slip through.
Man, just makes a tunnel all the way to site.
Yeah, well, that would be cool if you could, but no,
yeah.
You can only have one smoke, so. Anyway, party astronauts fall right after an impressive round victory, and they'll be able to buy up here because of the fact, well, at least I thought they would go a little more aggressive than that, but they're actually going to get a couple of AKs, MAC-10 and 2 Tech 9s. Could have invested more heavily, but are choosing to err on the side of caution, which is fine, I suppose, if you're up in a match, but they're down 5-1. Anyway, we'll see. This could bear fruit. We did see them win with a lesser buy-up. Just 1 round to go. Rush will only get 1 before being traded, but CJ's right there in pit to get 1, maybe a second here. Does a ton of damage to Fang. Will get clotheslined by 60, and then Ben Lee gets Junior. The techs are at it again, and the MAC-10.
This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. They're actually just running them down with momentum. Still, I would not say these are exactly repeatable rounds.
No.
But you keep winning. Doesn't matter how you're doing it. Dumping util to try and stall this out. George tagged up by that nade. I don't know if they're going to fancy this. There's not a lot of money to spare here for Nouns. They're out.
Activate Inferno Save Simulator. Stamp on that button. There you go. Go away to that B site, do Nouns, and they will be able to bring an AK and an M4 into that next round. But honestly, I mean, in all seriousness, impressive stuff from the party astronauts. You know, continuing to push through. 60 again is that key player to find an opening frag, and afterwards Ben is the one with the Tech 9 who gets the headshot. I think it was onto CJ, so that was very impressively done. I thought CJ was going to be able to at least get one more for himself, but doesn't come through, and PA are winning the rounds they shouldn't and losing the rounds convincingly when they actually have the weaponry in their hands. So hopefully for their sake they'll be able to change that trend here, Mike.
See if they can. See if they can. The limitations in this one could cost. So it's a pretty dang goodbye. If they can get on the
Junior?
porch.
Nope, they're giving up. They're like, no, this is embarrassing now.
Oh, at this point, they might just get swung. A little awkward, little fumble-a-rooski. Got vertigo. Got the swirlies. It's just one-on-one here on Banana. The Fang doesn't seem to fancy it. A re-smoke Molotov in. It's enough from George for the moment to dissuade them. So right now they're headed into the stack.
Yeah, and there's some nades dropped on the ground for George, as is pretty standard now. So he'll have another smoke to throw as soon as this one fades.
Ooh. Oh, if they test this mid setup, Wolfie's got the one. Spotted the second player swing in, but no, it's a tag. Not a kill. That's going to be massively disappointing for Wolfie. Still, it might be enough. Do they expect a second pit player? No, not at all. Carson deleted, though. Leaves it just under George in the clutch. This is messy. to say the least. But if they win, I don't think PA are going to care. They need rounds. And George has a lot of ground to cover to give this a look, to give it an attempt. He's sitting on an op as well. Could just try and back away. Incendiary picked up. Now he's going to give this a look. There's the incendiary. They're already out. Already anticipating this. And the balcony player, yeah, it's got him dead to rights. Nicely played from Fang.
Wow, yeah, well done again from Party Astronauts. And Sixy, another 2K. He's at the top of the scoreboard for his team with 9 frags. Above him, of course, is on the other side. Nouns is Rush with 13. But Wolfie did a great job finding the opener. Almost the second as well, but it is a leg shot, not HS shot. So that means that Junior survives and is able to finish off Wolfie, but at the end of the day, it's that push through apartments again that Nouns appear to be having a lot of trouble with towards this A site. So if I'm the Party Astronauts, I'm saying go A, go to those apartments, keep abusing them until Nouns can stop us. They are going to at least have a poke around Banana to see what's up here, but Nouns are on an eco. Now, Carson did go for a Hero Mag 7. I think that might be the first time I've ever said that. But everyone else onto USPs. And George is dead. That's the B site open.
Hear me out, though. Junior, 4K with the USB. Well,
I heard you.
There was a second.
But it didn't.
There's like a split second where no one was looking at him. And I thought, but what if? Infinite putting a smoke down so that he can more effectively fight the ecos right here is kind of hilarious to me. I'm not going to lie to you.
It really is.
He's like, this is where I could get caught, but I really do want this duel with the USP. Now he knows Carson's here, and Carson's just like, give me the Mag 7 kill, man. Give me the money. So he'll shatter his own ankles to try and deny it. They don't need to hunt this up. But Wolfie feels like, come out with your hands up at this point. He's got the Glock here. He wants to hunt this E. There's no reason. There's no reason. It's going to work. But genuinely giving him the $900 kill reward just does not feel worth it as a risk.
No, it doesn't at all. And they knew he had the shotgun because he already did damage to Infinite with it. That's so strange. It's the second time we've seen Wolfie get really antsy to go for frags he doesn't have to go for. It cost him in the pistol round. That time it didn't. He gets it. But still, I agree with you, Mike. That's very strange that they're chasing down a shotgun like that.
I guess it's a low percentage risk from their perspective. And
yeah, he dropped the op.
He can be a momentum player at times, so...
Yeah.
But it's just hilarious to me that he's chasing it up with a Glock. Like, maybe buy a P250 if we're going to do that.
He knew they wouldn't have armor, Mike. You know, he was anticipating that.
He was ready. He was ready. But we are coming down the stretch. Party Astronauts have the chance to equalize here. It was a rough start. So considering the fact they've just run 3 in a row, if I'm not mistaken, that's pretty dang good for PA.
Oh yeah, it's pretty solid, honestly, and it's, again, kind of expected on this map. Nouns, while they've had a lot of reps here, it's because teams are trying to abuse them on it. Maybe they've adjusted a little bit. You see at the beginning of this half, it looked pretty strong, but the Party Astronauts, even though it's looking messy and hectic at times, are finding way to win rounds, and at the end of the day, that's all that matters. Oh, what a swing from Fang, and a follow-up as well! Hello, Fang! Welcome to the map! Oh, goodness me. He clears up B by his lonesome, and no one is even nearby. They're going to join him now, though.
Yeah, no reason not to. This round's over, and they know it. Infinite's going to stick around and probably just try and hunt up some kills, because he's already on the hunt. He's here to control the rotations to make sure they can't get in, but Nouns have zero intention of this. Zero intention of mounting a retake here. There's no percentage in it. They've got a lot to save, a lot of weaponry, a lot of utility. So we are going to see an equalized scoreline. We are going to see the run back coming through from the Party Astronauts. And now for Nouns, they built such a nice start to this map. Be a shame to watch it all slip away.
Oh, yeah. Felt like they'd finally found some answers here, but the Party Astronauts are quickly delivering blow after blow to their confidence. And now with a tied scoreline, we're only looking at a couple rounds left in this half. It's not promising. They won't even be able to save one of those M4s. Look at the aggression here on the hunt from the Party Astronauts. You understand it. They have tons of money. Nothing to lose here. CJ gets one, traded out. Junior, last one. He tries to hide behind the pillar there on top of the box, but eventually they spot him out. Hide and seek is not the forte there, it seems, for Junior. As now we have the party astronauts tying things up, crippling the economy of Nouns by finding all three of those frags and forcing them onto an eco.
It's a tough road. Tough spot to be in. Right, we're right at the tail end of the half, and you just get deleted off a rip into this gun round. Gonna have to take the eco here. It's a little bit of juice here, and we certainly know Nouns is a dangerous team with the pistols.
Yeah.
Don't count them out with the 5.7. Oh, that nade stack is gonna make life a lot easier. Ben Lee caught both of those in his teeth. How's that for a party trick?
Yeah. I mean, I think Nouns probably surprising PA with the amount of utility that came out there. And I think perhaps the intention there is to convince party astronauts that a force buy came through, which it didn't. It's just an eco round, but maybe they'll be a lot more wary going for their approaches here.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're playing Nouns, you have to treat every eco with a little bit of something weird's going to happen here. There's an element of that. There's certain teams where you almost fear the Deegs more than you do the rifles at times. Fortunately for them, no Deeg spot up. But taking this control, if they do wind up going in towards A, it is the stack. There's still time to bail out, and Fang's going to be exploring his options here, top banana, and he's encountering no resistance, right? George has a single smoke. That smoke has been deployed. Seems to have dissuaded Fang entirely. So this could be a problem. This is a heck of a crossfire, even with the limitations. They got something working here. Flashbang on. First player in, he's dead. This is a problem. They don't know about the truck. Fang just put down Ben Lee. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Better make up for that one, Fang. 24 seconds. There's still a player here tucked in the corner, and he's going to be cleared. Good snap round for Infinite, but they're both vulnerable. George could absolutely do this. Does he want to phase the smoke? Just thinking about it. Bombs down. He's phased. There's still a player graveyard. This should be an easy trade, and it is. That is far from comfortable. But by hook or by crook, they have won the round, and party astronauts, they don't have to think about their money. They can forget that they almost lost this to pistols because they're on to 6.
Yeah, a little bit of TK coming through there, and I mean, making amends for it, I would say, finding the bomb plan, ensuring the trade comes through. It's a tough situation because Ben was so low, just like even a gust of wind could have taken him down, and it's just he got in the wrong path, right, as Fang was firing through. Anyway, it got scary for the party astronauts, like you said, and it can, because Nouns are so good with those pistols sometimes, but they do carry out their 6th round victory in a row, or at least 5th in a row, not sure if it's 6, and they're going to come through here and try to make it 7 overall in this half. Nade sails through, and Fang, lucky to escape with his life, goes down to 12 HP, and George has been doing a pretty solid job with the util towards B. Sure, they haven't won the last few rounds, but I mean, they've been dissuaded from going in that direction quite a few times. 60, thinking about being the tip of the spear here. Wolfie's going to peek first, and they both look in the same direction. That is not what you want to do. And then Junior connects with the AWP onto Infinite. CJ gets traded out by Wolfie. Well, Wolfie takes damage in that engagement, and it's still very tough for the party astronauts to find a way back into this one. They're guessing right, I would say, Mike, by going B.
Yeah, they are. Re-smoke on from George, but it's a little early. I don't think he has another one. He's got a molly. An incendiary, rather. Keep forgetting that matters now, the distinction.
It does.
But here's going to come the exec. There's the flashbang. Nearly had it on the spray, but now they know where he's playing from. Molly? Incendiary, rather, just to slow this down, but Ben Lee's going to find enough space to punch in the numbers. And somehow dodge the spam. Oh, that would have been a massive kill for Fang. Instead, it's Junior to collect, and now this retake is well and truly on as they look to take an even scoreline into the second half. Ben wants the initiative. He wants the swing. He wants the fight. He knows George is here. There's 2 players on the line, though. This is going to be tough, and the swing back in. It's all gone. Defuse on. We are knotted up as we head to the halftime break. Back into this second half, we are neck and neck. It's quite the run from Party Astronauts, winning, I believe, 5 rounds in a row there, John.
Yes.
To pull into the lead, but now it's at least able to steal away just a bit of sweetness there on the tail end.
Yeah, no, I mean, winning that last round gets them something going onto their T side, which they can be very explosive on as well, and I would say in a more coordinated manner than what the Party Astronauts showed us. Not to say it was bad, but it was scrappy.
Look at this. Look at this, though. Speaking of a coordinated manner, they're down the middle. Oh, my goodness. Carson's coming straight into disaster. They realize there's a player logs. Now they do. Now they know. Fang's just trying to hold him at bay. Let his reloaded teammates come in, but George is still going to get one, at least on the punish. There might be a path towards an A plant. But the cavalry is coming, and it's coming quick. Junior can't connect, and now they know. The G is up. Russia realizes, I might just need to get this bomb planted sooner rather than later. He's low, and they've got no desire to allow it, but now they've put themselves in a bad spot. It all falls to the one. That bomb is dropped. Junior, he knows he's out in the open. He knows he can't really do anything about this, but he's got time.
Yeah.
He's got plenty of time to cook. He's trying to fully rotate around here. I mean, the footsteps are making no secret of it, but now that he's drawn their focus, he'll hit him with the double back.
I kind of like this. This is very smart from Junior. All that noise made. They're looking in that direction. They think he's still on that bottom floor, but he's in the apartments. He could really do damage here if the timing is right.
Oh, they're rapping on him. He's wondering where the heck they've gone. They've read it. They've read it. They're wise to his tricks, and they know they just need to play together. He's going to have to give an audio cue to drop down here. Now they got confirmation.
Wow.
He thought he had the maneuver. He thought he had the moment. It was anything but. Now, what does he choose to plant in? Well, he's actually going to plant safe, but the panic, that's going to pull him off, and that's going to be all that PA needs.
Wow. I mean, look, Nouns gave it a good fight, but the Party Astronauts kind of read what Nouns were doing. A nice push on their side, down mid, like you said, very coordinated. They were just a firing squad, hunting down Nouns players, and George, I thought maybe he could pop off for a couple, but there were just so many bullets coming in his direction. 3 Party Astronauts firing away at him, and afterwards, you know, that little recovery by Nouns at the end gives them a chance to find a bomb plant, but the Party Astronauts were quickly barreling down mid all the way towards that A site to try and recover it, and they absolutely did. I love the idea from Junior. I think it was a clever attempt, but he took a little too long to activate, and then the Party Astronauts figured out what trick he was trying to pull off. 60 going to throw that nade down, and Party Astronauts have 4 MP9s and the A1S after winning that first round. Oh, Wolfie's exposed. He goes down. That's the rifle lost. I don't know if they'll be able to recover that. 60 also down to 13 HP, and the frags coming through now for Nouns. They get the 4v3 advantage. Ben's exposed too. This is just Glocks. This is just Glocks. They're making it work. 4v2 in favor of Nouns. The B site is clear. They've got a Molotov to slow down a rotation, and 60's already been lit up over towards mid, down to 13. Oh, 60 and Infinite get a couple here to try and settle things down, but it's still very much at risk, Mike.
Yeah, 60 has to wait for Infinite to get all the way around the world, and meanwhile he's getting pinched upon, and Infinite's just missed this. 60 knows. It's a lack of armor that might cost them. The aim punch is brutal, but 60's on 1 HP.
He takes him.
Infinite's not looking a whole lot better. This is like first bullet wins. Next bullet wins. Who can connect? Who can make this happen? They need to get on the stick. The Molotov will do it. He's forced into the open.
God.
And 60 settles this down. This was unreasonable from the Party Astronauts. Irresponsible from the Party Astronauts. They hear the Glocks, and they just get bloodlust on to chase the ecos. The problem is they didn't have the aim to go with it. I don't know what to tell you. They lost 3 separate duels against Glocks around the map.
That was 4 HP left combined.
That is okay. They won the round, I mean, and that's good. But the manner in which they almost lost that is frankly embarrassing.
Yeah, that was very, very concerning for the Party Astronauts, and they have to heavily reinvest here.
Blocks.
Blocks. It's Glocks.
All right. It doesn't mean this next rifle round's going to be dang good, but Fang, despite being blind, he will connect. George actually ate a little bit of his teammate's flash, and I think that's going to be a little unfortunate for them. So timing just a tick off there for Nouns, and it's going to cost them the opener.
I think Nouns are going to look back on that round and watch it and say, damn, man, we're so close. Just one shot on 60 or infinite there would have been the round, but it doesn't come through. Of all the times for Carson, he's usually pretty solid with his aim to just whiff the shots. I mean, it wasn't the easiest ones. Let's be fair.
He was also on 10 HP, right?
Yeah,
so he's trying to just pre-fire and guess, basically.
Yeah.
They were both doing it because everyone knew if I stay in this fight for 2 seconds, I am dead.
Yeah, that was tough. But very valiant effort from Nouns.
Yeah.
Just, I think Party Astronauts getting lackadaisical. I told you last time I watched them against Exolus Laser, those types of plays they were making. They just weren't being careful, weren't being methodical in their approach, and it cost them more often than not.
A little too eager against the Eeks. An NA Classic. That's slightly too shallow smoke. He's actually going to cause some problems here. That's a miscommunication. Ben swinging into his teammate's Molotov. They're not on the same page. And now Fang's in a tough spot, but he's got support. 60 might have just bailed him out. Sacrifices his life to do so, and it does mean the bomb's going to be planted, but... what do we got here? Junior's managed to slip away. Rush is so low. But there's no more util. Rush is gone. Now they know where Junior is, and there's a lot of crosshairs going to be looking his way. It's desperation. And he will not be able to hang on. So, look, there have been awkward moments in a lot of these rounds, but at the end of the day, if you're winning, you're happy if you're the Party Astronauts. They're not out of the woods. These sustained buys means that these rounds are going to get more and more dangerous, but they've now stacked a 3-round lead.
Wow. I mean, look, they have 60 to thank. I'm glad you brought him up in that round because he is the one that carried them out of that horrible situation with the Glocks as well. Even low HP was generating some momentum, getting frags, and helping them out of it. There, again, a lot of pressure on. He pulls off a 2K, takes tons of pressure away from that bomb site. And yes, they get the bomb plant, but the numbers become in favor of the Party Astronauts. You see after that, they're able to close out pretty cleanly. Time is going to be called on their side. I feel like this should have come a lot sooner, but better late than never. Call it, calm down, stop going crazy for ecos and just getting too aggressive in situations where it's not merited, and settle yourselves down a little bit, Party Astronauts. I mean, like I said, they're playing good Counter-Strike as of late, but these types of rounds, it's not sustainable. Sure, maybe on Inferno against Nouns, that's going to work, but on any other map, they'll probably punish PA significantly. Well, this one's not over, of course.
Nope.
Yes, you're right, Mike. They built up that 3-round lead, but Nouns have the guns again.
This is the smoke to potentially set up the mid peak. They're not go for it, but they're putting the doubt in their mind over on the Nouns side. Nade stack it into the stairs. No one's there. It's a bedroom approach instead. Here comes Rush. Don't think he's going to catch anybody in the timing, but it does seem like Nouns are eager to get into the fight here. Top mid.
Oh, Nouns, yeah, they're going to push into bracket. Opening
Wow.
frag goes Wolfie's way. That is a wicked peek and frag found. CJ couldn't do anything at all, really.
No, that was really ambitious.
Yeah.
Putting a lot of faith on yourself. Uh-oh, Carson's going to catch that spray back the other way. 60 giving just a few too many tracers, and now this 8 defense is in a lot of trouble. Ben's trying to come in to support it, but once this smoke fades, Carson's going to be through. And they're going to feel the pinch. Trades not favoring them. This is probably a save, and Ben just giving up his life here in the library. Fang will have to play for his own. This bomb's going down, and here's where we see the pain of all of those close rounds, of all of those bodies lost against Glocks, against lesser buys. There's no money that's going to be to spare for Party Astronauts.
It's unreal. They won 3 in a row to kick off this half, and this is the first round they lose, and you're right. I mean, there's nothing there. The bank is empty. Well, Nouns get a 7th and probably an 8th as a result. Fang presumably saves the AK, so maybe we shouldn't speak too soon about the 8th being a sure thing, but Still feels like that's, you know, Nouns abusing the A site. Similarly to the way the Party Astronauts did in that first half when they were struggling. They went to the A site, went through those apartments and up lane, and were managing to put enough pressure on the CT side that they came out with round victories, and Nouns just kind of replicate that here on their T side to pick up their first round. Looking at PA, yeah, this is going... Are they going to force into it? Ben's kind of showing that they will. Okay,
Yep.
I don't mind it, I guess.
Yeah, they can get a pretty decent buy around this. Wolfie's going to save for the EWP.
Yes.
This is something he tends to do. Mixed feelings about it. But it is a decision that he's going to make.
It is a decision. Okay.
I just feel like if you're going to force, put the faith in your teammates, commit to the plan.
Anyway, we'll get back to it. Carson is going to get the opener on 60 here.
That was an ambitious peek. Waiting for them to set up util. He's just trying to cash them with nades and hands, but kind of split the difference on it. Rush. Woo! He's going to get caught. Lots of damage done, though. Confirmation here. Oh, Wolfie. Oh, my goodness, Wolfie. He slipped the gap. He's into T-Apps. They're headed towards Banana, and I think he might have heard footsteps from the player getting in towards sewers. Yeah, he's calling. He's calling right now. They're headed towards B. Wolfie's heard enough. He's communicating to his team that there's no apartments presence, that he's going to have this flank quickly. And it may just be a P250, but that P250 might be enough. The exec's coming in. Look at that nade. CJ's so low right now. And in the back lines, there's two spotted. Oh, boy, Wolfie.
That's the bomb.
That is the bomb. But now he's in a lot of trouble. That one might have taken a little bit too much time. And with George slipping into CT, now the players are stuck on B. They've got A. This has worked out beautifully for Nouns. It was the flank of the century. But he couldn't hang on. He got stuck.
And then we come back to your argument, Mike. What if he would have forced up with his team? What if he would have gone for an MP9 instead? Maybe we would have an entirely different story here. As the Party Astronauts are opting for the save, the AK just too valuable, and they don't have the utility to really attempt a retake here. I guess it's a good way to lead into my point. I understand, you know, just going for a P250 and the body armor because you want to keep your economy healthy to ensure the op comes up sooner rather than later, especially on that CT side. But I also get your point. Like, you want to go and full-on commit to the bit. You know, you're on a force buy, right? Get it.
To me, it's
get
just
it done.
It's also just what it signals to your team, right?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, we might win this force. Might not.
And if you win it, then you have money and you're fine, and you're just going to carry on, and the other team's going to be tough and have a tough time in terms of economy. Instead, well, no.
Not so much.
Especially with the positioning he gained. If he had an MP9 there, that would have been way more effective.
I mean, to be fair, also if he hit that shot, it would have been fine. But it is what it is. If, ands, and buts do not matter in the game of Counter-Strike. Couldn't quite hold on to the flank, and it wound up costing them. I mean, the real credit as well, we should give praises to George. Being able to slip in towards CT there, he completely neuters the ability for Party Astronauts to do anything. Even if Nouns had been able to bail out, but George hadn't succeeded on his mission, they would have been in a tough spot. Instead, well, you saw the end result. And it's burning. I was trying to buy as much time as possible for that smoke to come through, but that is... I'm running out of utility. PA gonna stack a site. Can't really blame them. Gotta maximize the impact of what little you do have.
I mean, they have 2 AKs.
This is a cheeky boost.
Yeah.
Are they they're gonna run boost him? No.
No. I think he's just standing up so he gets more visibility over that smoke, and it's just much easier to see, right?
It would kind of be hilarious to see a run boost around that corner on a flash. Someone make it happen. Flower pot's a run boost. Just wicked high. I wonder if you could get onto oranges. Top oranges.
Probably, if you have good movement.
Yeah, with an MP9. Just spray the whole way, and then you're on first oranges.
Yeah.
Metacrafting here. First team to do that, I'll buy them a soda on land.
This is actually still a really good setup for BA.
This is why.
Got Ben on top.
This is what he's boosted over. This new meta smoke. Flower pot shouldn't be a problem, but there it is. They got the kill. Did they realize there's a second player here? Well, they don't really need to worry about it. Well, there is a flank developing. This time it is just an unarmored Infinite with a 5-7. So Rush could not exactly be quaking in his boots. Did get dinked up, but Fang just wants to save, and Junior does not want to let him. He will not.
Yeah, that's a good swing from Junior. Gets aggressive. Fang probably would have had his number if he didn't doubt himself for a moment and just held that angle, but in the end, he falls. No AKs saved over. The Party Astronauts, I mean, they care. They wanted the AKs into this next round, but they'll still be able to buy up regardless. It worked out well for Ben. I'm surprised they didn't just stick to it and keep him up there and boost up until he went down, instead falling off and kind of leaving the site a little more vulnerable than it needed to be. Anyway, Party Astronauts give up the round. Nouns tied up at 9, and their T-side is looking very nice indeed. But let's see if Party Astronauts can get the stop here. Wolfie's thinking about peeking. Nade's going to come through. Excuse me, Ben thinking about peeking. Bang. Throwing the nades. Util comes out. Doesn't do any damage at all to Nouns, so they're just going to keep pushing through. Why not? The Molotov burning away. Carson is afforded the space to charge up to top Banana, but Fang does get the headshot he needs to find. Great flashbang thrown. George finds the trade. Not the second onto Fang. He's doing a lot of work here. Eventually will be overloaded, you'd imagine. No! What? He hits the headshot on the peak on CJ. That is a third for Fang, and they still can't find him. Enough time for Wolfie to come through with the AWP and drop Junior to dirt. Rush is thinking, what? How? How did this all go down like this? We had the space.
Superlative effort there from Fang. That last one, smoke down, peeking into a spray, yes, and finding the headshot. That's a little bit of magic coming through from the Fangster. Let's see what Rush can cook. Shouldn't be possible, and yeah, that smoke makes his decision for him. If he backs away and saves, they've actually probably got a decent buy into the next. There might be the temptation to try and do some further economic damage here. The round itself feels very low percentage. They shouldn't hunt. There should be no motivation to hunt for Party Astronauts.
No, the money's not there. Absolutely not.
Are they going to give this a look? 10 seconds. Okay, there's the haircut, but that's going to be it. It'll be a costly haircut for sure. With Rush able to keep what he's got, it's a good find. Don't chase, don't chase, don't chase. Fight your demons.
He's really tempting them to. I love that play. Throw the smoke, make it feel like you faded away into T-spawn and just wait. Man, well, they did fight the demons, Mike, and they did not give in to the chase.
I'm always proud when an NA player resists the demon call, the whisper in the ear. I really do appreciate that. For either side, really.
Yeah.
I mean, the moment was so huge for PA, right? Now they've actually got a little bit of cash. They're keeping themselves in the lead. They're fending off Nouns at the critical junctures, but this next round becomes so dangerous. There's plenty of cash to spare on Nouns. Limitations on CJ's kit, that's really it. If they can crack PA now, they know what this opportunity presents. This could be the map win.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with you 100% there, Mike. As Nouns could find their path to victory right in this round. Junior running the op-T side, 4 AKs around him. On the other side, PA, I mean, like we talked about, their money is going to be low because they have to reinvest into all of that utility, and they didn't do themselves any favors earlier on in this half in terms of how they managed everything, the anti-ecos, and all of the bodies continued to fall, and it still is pretty chaotic even when they've had the guns out. So, can Nouns strike, find a win here, and then push it across the finish line, or can PA deny them the space on the defensive end? Find out soon. Molotov's going to get tossed up forward. Nade thrown as well, and George does get down to 70, but Nouns want to fight this. Oh, Ben, he's just peeking around, getting ready to throw the smoke. Eventually, you'd think he's going to toss it, but it's just incendiary instead. That will come top Banana. That does leave George very isolated, but do they know George has gotten this far? Do they know George is here? They don't know George is here! Oh, a free 2K! And look at Wolfie as well, taking damage in an engagement against Rush. B-side is open. This round might already be over.
It's over. It's long since over. It is absolutely over. Sound the alarm, ring the bell. Last call is in on round number 20. That is a lethal maneuver from George. They had no clue. Completely bamboozled by his timing. Big oversight from the party astronauts, and well, now they got some decisions to make. This one's getting real scrappy, John.
It really is. I mean, the good news for the party astronauts, I say that. Wait, I was going to say that they can save the guns, but Nouns never like to shy away from a chase, right? Even when they're low on money, they're coming out here. Carson could find Wolfie. He's already low. Wolfie misses the shot. Carson's going to swing it. Uh-oh. The guns could be dropped as well. This could be even worse for the party astronauts as Nouns are hunting full on at this point, Mike. Oh no, Infinite. He jumps. Molotov gets tossed. He should be okay. He should be okay. He is. Oh man. 2 guns saved over.
Doing a little Nexa impression there, standing in the Maulian pit.
Yeah.
Nouns, I mean, this could be the moment. This could be the moment. This play from George, this could win the map. Legitimately, that feels like the swing on the map. You got a decision to make, and it's, you know, pick your poison here for party astronauts. They'll take the eco. They got the 2 rifles to play around. There is definite danger that they could invoke, but it's going to be a stack. It's going to be a risk. It's going to be a gamble, and it's going to be both rifles over towards B initially. Pressure on the top banana.
I don't know. Party astronauts getting aggressive might be a mistake with all the utilities sailed through. Infinite charges out, and that's a good flashbang.
Through the molly?
Yeah.
With 1 of 2 rifles and no support from his teammates and no bailout util?
Wants it.
All right, he's stuck. He's going to get the kill. It's going to work out through the Molotov indeed, but now he's done. Now he's gone. Fang got the gun ferried on out of there, but still. It's a 1-for-1 worth it with 1 of your 2 sets of armor.
Wow.
That's a question that will need to be answered. The question is, do they expect the second AK to be there as well? They didn't see it maneuver in. They might expect 6C here. Wolfie actually connects with the USP. Time's getting to be an issue. You can't keep rotating, and 6C collects. Where do you want to go? You don't have any information. You don't have any space. So back into A, they will go. They'll make this maneuver, but now Wolfie's got a gun. Now there's a crossfire established. 60 slides into the corner, and that could be enough. The transfer on, and Wolfie will take it all.
I mean, yes, Wolfie gets the 3K, but 6C is the one with the critical frag to really make that a possibility into the apartments. Oh my goodness. That is an 11th round that is grasped right away from Nouns. Unreal stuff from the party astronauts, placing those AKs perfectly, splitting them up between the bomb sites. I mean, yes, you do lose 1 on Infinite. He's charging down Banana, but I mean, he got the frag before he fell, and Fang keeps the AK in his hands. So PA, despite losing the previous one, get the 11th. Nouns still have enough to buy up pretty much fully. It's just a Galil instead of an AK for CJ, but outside of that, they got the full util and the guns ready to go at it here up against the up against the party astronauts.
Up against the P indeed. Big P we call him.
I was gonna say PA, but
in the Challenger League. Big P and the Big A.
Goodness me.
Here they make the moves. Ops on the angle. Wolfie's here. He's been playing a lot towards ace. They might not expect him in this contact if they just dry check it. Oh no, there's a flashbang for it, but Fang was set up beautifully to play the anti-flash flash back in, and he just tries to follow this up. It's pure momentum there. Junior burning. Man advantage for the astronauts. Oh, the jiggle from Rush. He's got the kill.
Wow.
Fond memories of this map for Rush. And now he's calling his teammates over, and Infinite knows he's in trouble.
Yeah.
Cheeky spot. If he didn't already have the confirmation, he's got the confirmation off the footsteps. Now his teammates are trying to rally to his aid. Get this kill on Rush. There's a chance. There is indeed, but only the one. Molotov and a smoke for this retake, though, John. 2 nades on Nouns. Where are these HEs going to go?
Lane here. Oh, Junior gets caught out, but the trade is there, Mike. CJ finds it. Wolfie exposed. 83 HP, has the op, so he's at a bit of a disadvantage in this duel. Realizes it, picks up the AK. Gonna re-swing around the corner. CJ still got a beat on him, but Wolfie does get the headshot, runs for the kit. Party astronauts get a 12th, but it is scary.
Where's the bomb? Where's the bomb? Oh,
he's got it. He's got it.
Oh, scary indeed. Scary indeed, but you know what? It's not going to matter. It's not going to matter. Look at what Nouns have to try and fight for overtime.
It's Nouns, though. It's Nouns. I mean, that could be enough.
They can make these buys work, but they'd rather not, I'm sure. This play from Fang, getting the one playing the anti-flash position and then following it up. And I mean, the one kill from Infinite, knowing that he was in a tough spot and he just needed to squeeze whatever value he could out of it. Very savvy positional play.
I'm surprised Junior went for that peak, though, Mike. I think you kind of were, too. Seeing him out there going into
That was a little bold.
It was bold. I guess
especially when you have the double HEs. I'm just saying, if you can confirm there's a player short off of a jiggle from the pit player, you could really have punished that. But I think what he realized, what was going through his mind is, if they're coming moto, I'm screwed. I need to take some control. I need to get off this site and find a position I can play from this AWP. But golly, a dry peak there really did cost them.
Oh, indeed it did. Still 2 rounds left here in regulation. We know what Nouns can do with the techs and the SMGs. They even have a rifle in the mix here on Rush. They're going to wait for the utility to be tossed out here, which is quite wise because Party Astronauts are dedicating quite a bit of it to this fight. There go 2 more nades. All they want to do is burn off the utility off the belts of the Party Astronauts as they are looking to toss another smoke here. Pushing up past it. Yeah, there is a big gap. And Fang will abuse it. 2 added to his tally. Carson with a jumping Tech 9 to try and recover here. Picks up the rifle as well. And Ben will back off here. Luckily for PA, they've played 2 players here.
Yeah, 2 more to defend. 60's just trying to be the surprise factor. He's mollied out, but there's the transfer. A nice little sequence for Ben. And that's going to put this map to rest. Nice time for the IGL to step up, and it is Party Astronauts who triumph on Inferno. Look, maybe this was our expectation looking at the video at the beginning, but damn, did this map get dangerous.
Oh, it really did. It absolutely did. I think the Party Astronauts just made a lot of mistakes. They're actually lucky they didn't lose this map because of the amount of mistakes that were kind of piling up against them. Nouns fell maps, but Mirage definitely is. That Junior tends to have that edge over Wolfie. So if PA are going to find a win here, certainly Wolfie's going to have to be involved in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, I think the thing that always gives me a little bit of pause with Nouns is they have a tendency at times to get a little predictable. I think you see it in their pistols as a great example where they tend to run a lot of very similar pistol rounds. But I'm curious to see what kind of a look we're going to get out from Nouns. They're going to go for the A-take. They do like the A-take. There's going to be no subtlety about this one. But actually, the stack's elsewhere for PA. So, could be some issues. Nice shot, a follow-up as well, but Fang's now in trouble. He's painted into the corner, and he knows it. Can't really get away from this. The Palace Lurk's coming through. If he could get anything else, that'd be great, but he's out of bullets, and he's out of chances. Burst fire.
Yeah.
To take him out of play. Still, the aggressive pushing towards ramp did get them to 3-on-3, and it gave Nouns just enough pause that the CTs are actually here before this take goes. It's actually a little surprising. Wolfie's going to get this flank up. George feels uncomfortable. He's worried there could be a comm player.
Yeah. I mean, as he should be. They don't know where these players are. George is spinning around, gets the bomb planted, but 60 flies out with the dualies. Wolf's getting an easy one on Junior. No idea there. And the last one standing is Carson. Oh, nice little swing. And he also does damage up against Ben Lead, making them feel very wary indeed. Carson trying to clutch this out. Had 19 frags on Inferno, so wasn't exactly quiet. But he needs a big 1v2 here to clutch the win out. He won't get it. They defuse the bomb under his nose, and he gets another frag at least. That's $300 more. Trying to chase the last as well, and won't get it. But Party Astronauts get an important one to open things up here.
Yeah, I don't think he anticipated the kit. I think he was hoping that there wasn't the kit. Obviously, he's just in a tough spot there in the 1v2. Difficult situation to make happen. But nicely done from PA. Could have been very touchy. They went for the early stack on towards B, but they kept the calm. Fang and Infinite played well to secure a couple kills here in the ramp push, get the early information, and now just that little bit of hesitance allowed PA to get in a position. So it's a good start, but as we well know, with these bombs down, okay, we've missed a little bit of the meat of this early round.
They went so fast.
They went so fast. Gotta watch those first 15 seconds with Nouns.
Yeah, absolutely. Nouns punishing immediately 60 and Fang to the floor. Infinite, Wolfie, and Ben are still alive, but I mean, looking at the guns that are left, an A1S, and 2 MP9s, not great. And Ben is alone, isolated on this B site. I think they should gamble. They need to gamble, but they're not. And I mean, this site's going to be taken pretty convincingly. I don't even know if there's a path in.
No, this is going to be a safe call. You would imagine.
You think? I don't know. Ben seems like he wants to try for it at least.
Wolfie does as well. Time's starting to become an issue. Ben has the kit, but he's isolated in the market. Yeah, they're backing away. They're backing off of this. They have slipped off. They just weren't in position to go for this retake. I think if the 3 players are around the site immediately, yes, all good. But as it is, 3 M4 is able to take out of the round. That's going to be a nice find. And Nouns just push this one a little bit further. Hit the reset button. So dang quick at that. Although, to be fair, this was Party Astronauts getting aggressive and it not working for them. This was not Nouns. This is normal pace, actually, for Nouns. It was PA trying to push up towards top mid, trying to catch Nouns off guard, and far from it.
Well, at least PA is going to save 3 A1Ss. They recovered the 2 rifles, so that's actually really good for them. That resets them into this round with a very good chance of coming with victory. But yeah, 60 went out, didn't get anything. It was actually Fang who finished the frag, and George and Carson traded immediately, and they hightailed it in the direction of the B site, and that was the right call. But like we said, 3 rifles saved over. Party Astronauts are going to force up around it, as they absolutely should. I'm surprised 60's not going to get one of those rifles. Instead, he's just charging up mid again with Fang. Fang eats a nade. 60 takes damage. And once more, the result is kind of the same. Wolfie at least gets a trade for his squad. A little bit of damage taken in his direction. I think 60's already hightailed it out of here. He has. He is towards the ramp instead. But Nouns have mid control.
This pushing towards ramp's going to be interesting, right? They've got this information, but what is Ben going to do with this? Whoa, a little late on that util. Just trying to stall them out. They're going to run him down. He's burning. He knows it. Anything would have been a miracle. And it's going to be nada. Zip. Zilch. 0. This might have to be another save call. I don't know how they get back into this site. And yeah, Wolfie is backing away. Not all going to be able to save this time. Junior collects. As well worth his life in the trade.
Yeah, I mean, look, I talked about it in the pregame, Mike. Nouns are a team that oftentimes can pull off reverse sweeps, and they're no stranger to kind of losing that first map and coming out and having dominant performances in the following 2. So losing the pistol was a bit of a hurdle for them to overcome. They already did by winning the follow-up, and right here, well, George loses his life a little bit too close to that bomb, but I mean, that won't matter too much as they have the money to buy up, and the Party Astronauts can't even convert off of the pistol round. At least they're saving the guns, so they're keeping it viable round after round, but eventually you're going to have to connect with something.
Eventually, yeah. But at this point, I mean, these guys are getting weaker, right? They forced around. Now they've got to take their medicine. We'll go for a gamble. 60 gets erased early. It's just the pistol lost.
You can see 60 trying to find his rhythm, going for those early fights, but I think he's forcing it a little too much.
Hard to say till we get a full buyout.
Yeah.
But that should be coming in the next round. The one question is anyone on PA going to get enough money to get the op? Preferably Wolfie. Won't be Wolfie. Wow, that was beautifully lined up from George.
Yeah, they kind of walked into it.
They did. Still had to knock him down. And they are coming into the stacked site, but they've dealt with the stack first before even getting close. Ben gone. Infinite. Got a little magic for us. One. Only one. And an op that will not buy.
And Rush getting stabbed by Carson, I think? I don't know what happened there.
Blood for the blood gods.
Yeah,
just a little friendly pat on the back.
Just like, good job. Now you have to buy armor again.
Nah.
I'm kidding.
I already had the help.
Yeah, he was fine. 3-1 in favor of Nouns, but, you know, you said it, Mike. The gun round is going to show us a lot here to see what the party astronauts can do. If Nouns come out and get a strong victory here again, then, I mean, it will mirror what happened. Oh, Junior, what a shot to open things up onto Fang. That's not going to help the party astronauts' case at all. Infinite's alone. He's isolated. Wolfie does get one on the perimeter, but Infinite has given up this A site. They need to try and recover it quickly, but just no one's in a good spot. They have the CT player, Wolfie, who can pop out here, but he's actually going to throw smoke for himself to try and push out and gain some space. This is so problematic, and they may call for a save once more. I mean, it depends on how this flank pans out for Sixy.
Yeah, if he can catch his kill on the Junior. Game's back on. The game is afoot. They never left. But it's good post-plant positions for Nouns. They're going to slip a player in towards CT. That means there's a real timer on this. They've got to deal with Palace first off. It's George. Smoke to block that. Just going to get it on the bomb. And all right, here's going to be a stick. It's a full 10 second. Good luck. First one down. Do they realize the player's in the bomb? They don't know. Nope. They don't know. Someone's got to spam. Someone's got to spam. There's a smoke pop, though, and Rush lines it up. He's not one to miss the details. And Nouns this time have wiped the board clean.
Wow. That is a nice play from Rush. I mean, it felt like for a moment that the defusal was going to come through and they would slip it through, but it doesn't happen. Rush just too good for that. And Nouns pick up the fourth indeed. So, I mean, I was alluding to it earlier, but, you know, we saw Nouns very dominant at the beginning of Inferno and then let it slip away. But that is a map that they're not comfortable on. This is a map that they very much are comfortable on. So if they get that momentum going early, I don't see it favoring the party astronauts at all. They need to stop soon. I don't know if it's going to come here. It could. I mean, they've got some pistol upgrades. The MP9. Fang spams away with the Deagle for a couple of shots. Nade sailing through from Rush. Doesn't really pop the smoke, and maybe enough for a peek. Fang gets one. Only one. Two come back the other way. And I mean, the space has been gained here to the A site. Probably a plant already, and that nade's going to make 60's life difficult. Yeah.
Oh, man. Hold on. Sustained fight here. This is getting weird. It's all under Junior. And he's brought it down to the clutch. 60 here. 60 swinging. 60 dinked up. 60 catching some damage as he escapes, but Junior gets the fresh mag and through the box. 6 health, all that remains. For a round win nonetheless, and that's all Nouns need.
Wow, that was close. I mean, 60 almost made it happen there. As well as Ben. I mean, Ben was crazy. He got 3 there in a situation where it felt like he didn't have any business getting even 1. But, you know, Nouns got a little bit sloppy on their clear of CT. Cost them, but it did not cost them the round as they pick up that 5th. And it felt like those types of rounds were going the party astronauts way on Inferno, and now it's on the other side that's getting the advantage. Nouns finding that edge. Looking at the buy up though, party astronauts weren't on a full buy in that previous round. Now they will be. 4 M4s and the AWP are Nouns going to rush up the pace. Nouns are. They're throwing the change-up pitch now. 60 ready for it though. Gets one. He was lined up through the smoke. Didn't know it, of course. Ben Leet trying to support here on the site. Gets a follow-up. Not another. And then Infinite and Ben fall simultaneously. Look at 60 go. I mean, he's done so much damage to Carson. This could be his awakening that we're seeing in this round.
Could be. Might still be waiting, though. Knows that Carson's a threat somewhere in mid, and Wolfie's gone looking for it. But they'll have to regroup. They have to go for this retake. This is the best situation they've had in a long time. It's 60 trying to make a move ahead of his teammates. It's going to cost him. And now Carson is on the flank. Wolfie hears it, but this has slowed them down so much, it might still have been enough. Player Van, player E-Box, Fang, you gotta have this clear. Half-hearted on it, smoke still up, and Fang down. Pays the penalty. Wolfie's out of there, just trying to save this AWP. Finally got the big green. He doesn't want to give it up. But this run continues. 6 unanswered for Nouns. And even when PA are keeping them even, I just can't get back into these post plants.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, I think the scoreline might be a little deceptive, right, in terms of the way these rounds have been played out. They've been very, very close towards the tail end, but, I mean, Nouns just keep squeaking them forward. Right here, I mean, I thought that was great. 5v3 for the party astronauts. Ben gets that one into the apartments, but I think off off screen, there was a frag that came through, and of course we saw that one onto Ben on the site that was in favor of Nouns. They even out the numbers, and then, I mean, the retake just couldn't really activate. You talked about it. Wolfie was so distracted with his flank that he really couldn't focus on getting into the bomb site until he dealt with that player on the back lines, and by that point, enough time had been burned off. Bang, charging through. Oh, what a flashbang. Well done. I think that was Rush that threw it. Now he's going to charge on forward, look for the follow-up frag, and he will get it eventually here. There we go. 5v3 in favor of Nouns. Still an AWP and an M4 up here for the Party Astronauts.
There is, but there's probably going to be an AWP and an M4 that would like to live. If I had to guess, up against 5 players here on the A site, I just don't see a world where they're going to get stuck in. 60 is giving this a little bit of a look, but nothing to do.
That's like a fadeaway look, right? Because he knows that he's just going to fall back towards that B site. Thing is, I mean, Ben is hanging around here probably just because he has the Mag 7, and I mean, that's $900 if you get a frag. So don't blame him. Maybe
certainly worth it.
Dragging some people back too. Oh, well,
that's a tough range for the shotgun.
A little bit.
That's a tough one.
Just a touch.
Just a touch. Just a wee smidge. This is, I think, a frustrating map at this point for Party Astronauts. I mean, the scoreline tells that story, right? But it's just the fact that it doesn't feel like they can get stuck in. Their most successful round was a round of pistols.
Oh, boy. I still consider Nouns to be one of the scariest teams to go up against when their backs are up against the wall after losing map 1. They really become ferocious afterwards and very difficult to manage, and Party Astronauts are finding that out the hard way on Mirage. Buy-up will come through again here. What is the answer for PA? What adjustment do they need to make? Honestly, maybe some more aggression towards middle. They've already tried it. They got to isolate something. There we go. 3 players committed to that ramp fight. Junior gets deleted immediately. Infinite throws the smoke. Flashbang comes through, but they can't really do anything. Oh, Infinite wants the gun. He gets it, but it costs him 53 HP. I think that's a worthy trade.
I would say so. I would say so indeed, and we'll see if he can bring that trade offer through. Man advantage, certainly a nice trade as far as PA are concerned. These have been few and far between. Utility doing a good job of keeping Nouns at bay. They want to get stuck into this ramp take, and Wolfie really getting caught in the open. Awkward fight here, Infinite down, but they might not expect Fang to play the same position.
I feel like I can clear this. Oh, nice flash throw!
But the flashbang is so good. And Fang has brought this through. Spots the last, can't quite find it. Bought the connector player's gone, and Rush now under assault. Bomb along out of his reach, and finally, the Party Astronauts are back on the board.
Yeah, there was a little bit of an adjustment there. As I mentioned, you know, 3 players committed towards that ramp fight, and they just didn't want that peek to come through from Junior, as it has been for a few rounds, and they denied him everything. Then an upgrade picked up off the ground by Infinite. And after that, it's just Party Astronauts all the way. Second round picked up, still a very tall hill to climb, and Nouns could easily just bounce back and pick up this round because they got a full-on buy. 4 AKs and the op once more. They're going to say sayonara to the A site hit. They want to go for that mid control that they're so good at getting. And in fact, PA is not even going to contest it. They're going to stick with that play that worked in the previous round by having those 3 players committed towards the A site. In fact, quite far up on site. Not many players being passive here. Ben pops up, sees that there's a player up in the apartments, but it's only one. It's only George. Oh, I think they're going to go for the pincer on to B.
There's contact.
Oh.
Carson, that's a ripper of a headshot. Now you're absolutely right. The pincer seems to be coming in. Not moving just yet. Waiting for the smoke perhaps to fade in the apartments before they make their motion. But even with this deep control in towards ramp, it's going to be difficult for Party Astronauts to actually adjust into this. And actually, Fang's pulled off. Bentley's on an island. They are misreading this. There's now still seem to be positioned for the B take. And look at how far away Fang is now. It has to be a hero play from Ben. That's about the only option. 30 seconds on the clock. Here's the flashbang around. Now it goes. They're not even moving just yet. Ben's communicating to the team at this point. Now he's been revealed. Oh, finds one kill. But Wolfie already caught on the rotation. If this bomb gets planted, this should be over. I'm going to give it a look. Now he's the only one alive. First one found. Bomb can't be denied. He's got 3 to eliminate. And Carson takes the initiative off of the plan and into the frag.
And that is the problem with playing up against Nouns. You have to work so hard to counter one prong, one bomb site, and then they just flip over to the other one and dominate you there instead. Well, Party Astronauts round win isolated again, but they still have enough in the tank to afford 3 A1Ss, the AWP, and the MP9. So it's still going to be a decent buy-up. They'll make the adjustment again. You see them. 3 players towards the B site this time. Only 1 on the A site. Fang is close by. He's playing towards connector. But now Nouns are going to go for aggressive mid-control. This is going to be quite a fight on our hands here because 2 Party Astronaut players are pinching in as well, Sixy being one of them, and neither of them get anything. Fang and Sixy fight for naught because they fall immediately. Ben's going to get the trade here through the broken wall. That's an upgrade to an AK, but still a man advantage in favor of Nouns. They can go wherever they want.
Can indeed. They can indeed. They seem like they have their sights set on the, well, stacked is maybe a stretch. But the site with reinforcements and Ben Leach taking the initiative. That's a massive play from Ben. Catching George with his back turn long before these players get towards the ramp. Based on the spot George was playing, they're a little suspicious of the window maneuver, but Infinite's going to come back around. The problem is the op's not here. Why do they suss this out? There's still utility. If they could get the smoke down, that would be massive. It's late enough. Might just be time to chuck it. But they don't want to give anything away. Now they make their move. Oh, there's the spot. There's the confirmation. Infinite's able to collect. Smoke to give himself a little bit of cover. Pressure on the Ben. Can he stay alive? He can, and he can do better than that. It's all on a junior now. 2 targets to find. 24 seconds to do it. He's taking the first. Spots the next. Out in the open. There's the shot. Can't quite land it. 16 seconds, but Junior's done it. 1v3, isolates every single fight, and they'll give it to him.
Adds a little salt to the wound at the end with the BM on every single body he can find. I mean, look, that was so well played from him. He earned that little BM at the end. Really, I mean, patience waiting for a player to peek from jungle. It's an obvious spot that someone could go in. They don't. They absolutely don't. But they do. And Junior's going to capitalize on it. They could have literally just waited until the bomb was planted or something. Junior made a play. Instead, they got overeager. And this is a problem we saw on Inferno as well. And I mentioned it. They'll get away with it on Inferno, but not on another map against Nouns, especially not Mirage.
There's 20 seconds. He's in Palace. There's no world where he can rotate away. You don't need the kill. It's not going to make a difference. There's no reason to give him the fight. That's one that Party Astronauts are going to be kicking themselves for when this map is said and done. And it's going to cost them the ability to build anything like a compelling half.
I mean, maybe psychologically keeping them off double digits is important here, but I mean 9-3, 10-2 in the grand scheme of things, not a massive difference. It's still a failed half for the Party Astronauts. Fang should be able to get one here, maybe? No, not at all. Carson wins both fights, 5v3, completely empty from the Party Astronauts. Infinite waiting in Palace could be a little bit of a problem, but look at this. Nouns are already saying, we think someone's there, and they're right. Carson gets a 3K and a 4K. He is on for the ace. Infinite will get one back, but it's George to get the last mic as we go to the halftime break.
Back in for what could be a very brief half. Party Astronauts have got to start well here, and as we know, even if they can win this pistol, that far from guarantees them a smooth entry into the half.
Yeah, no, I mean, Nouns have just looked way too good on a map that they're very familiar with looking good on and feeling good on. And the Party Astronauts, well, they are just going to group up at top mid. No aggression from Nouns towards mid this time, which is surprising. And 60 collects a scalp immediately onto CJ. Junior going to get outflanked too. No! Junior realizes that he gets one. Immediate trade comes through. It is a 4v3 advantage. We'll see if Nouns can pull one back. George almost does, but misses his shots onto Ben, the ones that count anyway.
Junior's got to have spidey sense for that one, but they're going to need some more superpowers. And Wolfie and Ben Lee not going to be delivering anything but lead. All falls to Carson now. 3 targets to find. It's a 3v1, PA. Don't peek him one by one.
Seriously.
Whatever you do. All right, 3 together. That's one thing. Oh, that's the 1x1. Time should not allow it, and Ben Leet indeed will find the temple. Ooh, they're committed to stressing me out in these 3v1s.
Seriously. They just can't sit still. It feels like they have to peek or else, I don't know. Something's going to happen. That's how they feel anyway. Something bad will happen. Nouns are going to, and I don't mind the three-man peek, right? Triple peek is fine. Like, go for 3 players at the same time, and that's fine because you can easily take down the player in that situation. Just that one at a time stuff. Get rid of that, guys. Don't do that again. Or at all when you have 20 seconds left in a round. Won't harp on that too much. Party Astronauts did win the pistol in that first half and then lost the follow-up. I don't think that's a risk here, though. With 4 USPs and the Deagle, Nouns not going to force up. Oh, Junior. Looking at the edge of the smoke. Will he spot out Ben? It's not a bad spot for him to be holding here. Now the smoke will fade. Marine peeks before it pops. Well, nothing happening just yet.
All right, Rush burns a little bit. They're getting sucked in towards the stack. He's had some trouble against the pistols. Well, they are winning the numbers at the end of the day. What are you going to do, CJ? What are you going to do, CJ? Are you the king? Well, the king is short-lived with his crown.
Well, the king of one
Pick up the rifle. Pick up the Galil. There we go. Thank you. It was an AK. Need to maximize every advantage they can for the Party Astronauts because it is still a very long road, and now the guns are out for Nouns.
Yeah, you can tell they're a little rattled after that first half. You gotta compose yourselves. Make sure that all the little details are taken care of, too. Timeout gonna be called here. Oh, maybe just a brief tech timeout that came through. We're okay now. Everything's been very rapidly resolved. And the Party Astronauts at least convert off of their pistol round victory, but Nouns were saving for exactly this. They wanted to get the rifles up as soon as possible. They know that's where they have the advantage against the Party Astronauts on this map. 4 A1Ss, the op coming through. Utility a little bit light. I mean, I imagine Junior's going to go for a mid-fight here. No, in fact, he's deviating himself towards that B side. He wants to play Van instead. Wolfie gets chipped down to 51 HP here. Trying to deliver that right on back to Nouns, but can't really connect with much of anything. And in the end, Fang just gets lost at top mid. 60 and one more are coming up from underpass here, but they're also in a really tough spot. They try to boost in the window. They are successful. CJ's waiting for it. CJ delivers another frag, and it's a 5v3 for Nouns.
This is the first major task, rather.
Okay.
60, though, is making some noise. Wolfie swinging around. They still got some action here in towards mid. Wolfie's going to have his fight in his hands. He knows it. Oh, and he comes out worse for the wear for that one. 60 trying to walk this. Carson meets him in the middle. And now it is just a very wounded Wolfie with 3 headshots to find if he's somehow going to scrape this round. Won't even find the first. George has got him dead to rights. 11-4. Nouns, a map win here. A third map. An ancient decider. It feels like inevitability.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Ancient is, I would say, 90% chance of coming through at this point. with the scoreline we're at here. Party Astronauts will have 2 Galils, the AK, and 2 techs, so they're forcing into this. I mean, they kind of have to. If Nouns get to 12 here, you're toast. You're done. And they realize that. So they're trying to gamble here, take the risk, go for this quick fight towards mid. Carson already spamming through the smoke, does a lot of damage, in fact. Infinite down to 48. I'm not sure if that was towards mid or not. No, it was not. That was actually ramp. But either way, Party Astronauts are going to gain the space. Rush spotted out by 60. He's going to back off, throwing some utility to cover his escape. And, I mean, I think Party Astronauts are trying to bait a rotation towards that B site with 60 falling back. Wolfie, how are you alive? How is Wolfie still standing here? 1 HP, great flashbang thrown. Siege takes a good amount of damage to get that frag. And now Fang's trying to come in to trade it, but it doesn't happen. Ben Lead is going to do that, but it's still the man advantage in favor of Nouns as they try to get an important 12th. Yeah, it's bad for PA.
No one's above half. No one's above half. This is looking like a hospital ward right now. Let's see, though, if they can trundle this one through to a victory. Not looking auspicious. And, oh, these comm players have been caught. The ramp player's gone. It's just left to 6C, who's backed into a corner. Position not quite known. But CJ will be prepared for it nonetheless. So many chances to close here. 8 in a row. And that might be all they need. Look at Carson, man. We said he was the Mirage Demon, and he is delivering 20 and 8. This dude just loves this map.
He really does, and he loves going for early fights, which he continues to do, especially in towards mid. But yeah, I mean, look, Carson has been an impressive player. I'd say Mirage and Ancient are the 2 maps I've noticed him the most, because both those maps have important mid control that needs to be gained, and usually he's the one to try and find it. Party Astronauts need a lot. And I don't know if they're going to get it with this type of buy-up. Nade's going to sail through. They're just trying to charge into this A site. It's Desperation Station, and, well, they're getting absolutely nothing. Only Fang left standing, and this one is done, dusted, over. Nouns win it commandingly. 13-4 in their favor as we head to Ancient.
That felt like a foregone conclusion from about round 4.
Yeah,
I would say.
Yeah.
There were no doubts in that one. As scrappy as Inferno was, this was utter domination. A pistol round for Party Astronauts, and then from then on out, Nouns show. There are good moments for Nouns, don't get me wrong, but there's a lot of self-inflicted wounds from PA. There's a lot of not playing together. There's a lot of panic, and there's a lot of getting ahead of themselves, trying to race in too fast, getting 1 kill and trying to get 3. It's something that's cost them quite a bit across this series. That made Inferno a lot closer than maybe it needed to be, and certainly took away any possibility of Mirage. Can't be having it here on Ancient. They need to settle down.
Absolutely. Need to see more discipline. And I mean, looks like Nouns won the knife round, and they get to start on CT side. Party Astronauts T side, and well, let's see if Nouns start off by immediately pushing up mid. Not this time. A little more passive. 3 on A, 2 on B, and Party Astronauts are going to execute some utility towards the B site.
This is going to be a bomb plant. This is a retake setup. This is almost certainly going to be a bomb plant unless they get the luckiest taps through smoke possible. George is just trying to time this. Actually, does connect a shot. Might have been 2 there on the 60.
Yeah.
But the bomb is going to be down, and that's what's most important. So a full 5-man retake, and Nouns also aren't making any secret of where they're coming from. Everybody's coming CT. They're just going to try and bulldoze their way back into this. They don't have a kit. They do have a smoke. Smoke will block off cave. And on they go. First player found. Through the smoke. Here we go. Here's the taps.
This is really good.
They got to get a move. 60's down and out. The Molly's going to slow them down here on the burn. Is there another Molotov for Ben?
Where's the kit?
Not quite. They never had one. They never had one. Dangerous move on a retake setup, and now time has gone away from them. All this work, but it's all for naught. The round goes the way of PA.
That is a mistake from Nouns. I mean, if you're going to play retake, you've got to invest in the kit. You have to have one. Because, I mean, the whole plan is to give up the site and try to get back in. Oh, my goodness. All right. Well, look, Party Astronauts going to capitalize on that. But they've been winning pistol rounds. That's not the problem for PA. We can't forget. They won both of them on Mirage and still lost by a significant margin. I mean, when you're winning pistols and you lose 13-4, that is exceptionally troubling. Anyway, Nouns Going to just full-on eco here. Aside from Carson, who buys up the dualies and the body armor. Rush fully blinded, no chance at all. 60 completely blindsides him, and the B site's going to be taken. Bomb will be planted, and this round will be over.
You know, there's a phrase around these parts. It's GG go next, because you ain't doing anything about this round. So yeah, there's not a lot to save. The USP is probably going to try for some exits. But there's a couple sets of armor. Maybe you drop a gun. That's the best case scenario right here. Carson, no.
Carson, you can't hold him back, can you?
No. Not a man who knows restraint. But the lesson will be illustrated to him, courtesy of a Mac 10 from Infinite. So that's one set of armor out. Again, it's a minimal possibility on what they even could save here.
Honestly, like, in the grand scheme of things, not that big of a deal.
No.
Going for a little bit of a hunt on that type of investment. And PA will get the conversion this time as round number 2 comes through on the T side. I shouldn't say that because they did get a conversion on their T side of Mirage as well. It's just the CT side when Nouns immediately bounced back with a force buy. So let's see here. Nouns certainly going to have an investment here. And it's up to the party astronauts to illustrate something more than we saw on that previous map.
Where's Junior going to put the op first round? A. He's the answer. And PA look like they want to beat this B drum until convinced otherwise. Some interesting early utility here. They were anticipating a cave push. This is util to set up the cave push. The wall. B ram eventually nets them a trade kill. Rush is under pressure. Carson trying to come into support, but in the meantime, he might get overwhelmed. Somehow he's still alive.
Oh.
Somehow he's kept on. And party astronauts, they're going to regret this one.
Yeah, they're forced back now. Great job from Nouns to kind of regain that space that was almost lost.
It felt like there were two minds.
Yeah.
Why? One player's moving out, committing into the fight, and the other three are hanging back, sectioned off by a smoke. Feels like they're on 2 pages and trying to make the same reading. This is far from over. But PA is going to slow things down. Fangs revealed his presence B ramp. Could just be the lurk. They don't know. Infinite is actually the lurk. Problem is he's just got a Mackie to work with. He's going to try and pull the rotations. He's going to try and make some noise. He could get in towards mid. The problem is this fight against Junior should be an impossibility. Well, let's dodge the first. Rush went and got furious. That smoke, they were wary. There might be more in towards mid, and suddenly this could be open.
Yeah.
CJ, he's going to come into the fight. Never one to be afraid. Swinging on in, but he's got nothing for it. And now they're locked on the wrong side of the map here, John.
How does this even happen? Party astronauts are going to win this round, you'd think, unless Carson's here.
There's still plenty of time. There's still plenty of time, but if he doesn't clear back Donut, well, he's not going to give it a look.
Yeah.
Unpunished.
Huh.
Getting very close to Fang's gun. But he's going to be able to back away.
That is a really nice round victory for the Party Astronauts. This is a bonus round, and Nouns had everything they could possibly want. It's just, and it looked good towards B, but Rush gets caught. Yeah.
Infinite basically won that without firing a shot.
Yeah.
The position, hearing it from Donut, a bit of a misread. The shot missing from Junior. Rush goes looking. Oh, falls apart from there. It's Fang who gets the kills. But that one's all about Infinite. And his reward will be a bullet through the wood panel.
Well, Infinite does fall, but at least he helped his team find that third round. And, I mean, Nouns, you'd think they would force up here around those saved guns, but they're not going to. At least not yet. It's a lighter buy. I respect it. A little bit of discipline being shown by Nouns here, as Party Astronauts are off to a very nice start of Ancient, which they absolutely needed to stymie the momentum that Nouns built on Mirage. But Carson, you won't stymie him. He's going to keep coming into these fights. Rush gets the trade after Carson does fall, and we have a 4v3 advantage in favor of Nouns. They don't have the rifles picked up off the ground just yet. They should be able to grab them. There's Rush right next to one. And they got both. So 2 AKs. Upgrades from the MP9 and the pistol. That will help them immensely. Plenty of time for PA to maneuver here. CJ, will he be overlooked?
If he gets one, this is a success.
I think he might.
He might do. He might do. No, Bentley's got him. Dead to rights. Junior's still here on the angle. The first shot does land. Almost looked like he'd gone too far past them. The bomb's going to be planted. That can't be denied. And they've not got great util for this. The Molotov's on the other side of the map. Oh, Wolfie, huge kill to find. Taking the initiative before they can get active into this retake. Now Wolfie takes the up off the board as well. He's cooking in this post plant. And the Wolf is howling. Just on the rush now. No kit. Molotov, though, is a problem. Without the tap, there's no reason for them to peek. And yeah, he knows. He knows. Just got to back away. Try and survive here. Trying to keep this gun up. It is PA off to the races with 4 in a row.
Wow. I mean, a lot of resilience being shown by PA as well. I mean, losing the early fights, the trades come through for Nouns, but they're still able to succeed in finding the round. They just make the right call. They win the fights. That fight against CJ, very critical into Donut because it opens up all that space to the bomb site. They get the plant. Post-plant, I don't want to say they were disciplined because they kind of weren't. They were chasing fights because they felt like they had to, I guess, with that man disadvantage, and it really does work out well thanks to Wolfie, honestly. Wolfie doing a phenomenal job in isolating fights. So, in that case, the antsiness that Wolfie has to go for frags ends up being the reason the party astronauts are able to get a fourth. Nouns buying right back up into this round. Of course, I shouldn't say buying right back up. They didn't buy up in that previous round. They went for the lighter buy of the pistols and almost found success. Fang, though, oh my goodness, deleting CJ, and Wolfie does the same to Carson. This is when problems emerge for Nouns. When that mid-fight doesn't work out at all and is deleted immediately, they're in a ton of trouble. George is trying to get things back under their control here, but that's only one, and he takes a ton of damage.
He's still lucky to get away with his life there. 60 looked like he had caught him on the timing, and actually, speaking of timing, Junior appears to have been completely circumvented. I'd imagine he missed the window onto Fang. Util kind of tips him off, though. If they'd gone silent, he would have been real dead to rights. He still misses this. Confused somehow. Expecting to peek through from Donut, looking the wrong way at the wrong time, and that op is going to be down on the floor. With Nouns just trying to survive with these guns one more.
I mean, Junior's hearing ghosts there. He thought something was happening behind him.
I don't know if Fang gave him an audio cue. There was something that snapped him away. Maybe he was just trying to walk away and hope that they wouldn't peek into him. Either way, you know, even if he gets one there, he's probably still dead and the round's probably still done. So it's probably not the difference maker here. It really is about that mid-fight, as you so nicely illustrated.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. 5-0 for the party astronauts. Rush might get one. He will. It won't mean much. It's pretty much that frag that Junior didn't get that they find there. But again, party astronauts, 3 players alive. It's T-side. They keep that economy flowing. And this time, the 5 in a row they found, as opposed to, I think it was on Inferno when they had a lot of rounds in a row, it was more impressive. It's more impressive here because they're being more disciplined, at least in terms of the fights they're choosing to take. And let's hope it continues, at least if you're a Party Astronauts fan. But Nouns, they're hard to hold down, certainly. And that's because Carson doesn't stop. He doesn't lose confidence. He's going to keep taking these fights.
He is a man of his intentions.
Yes.
Shall we say. Stubborn.
Even if it's not working. But sometimes that stubbornness is what keeps them in matches.
Yeah, sometimes it's eventually what cracks through. Look, I say this as one stubborn person to another. There are ups and downs to it.
Indeed.
Was a molly clear? Taking some cave presence. I mean, this has started out better for Nouns. They've drawn a lot of the utility out from Party Astronauts, and Party Astronauts do not have much to show for it. They have Jag control. That's about it. Well, hold on. Bit of a skirmish here in the cave. Signaling a lot of presence here on B. Is there going to be a peek off of this? It's an HE, not a flash, so I'd imagine they're getting a little bit further forward. Oh, this is going to get really weird. Is there a flashbang for this? No, they're just going in dry. They're just going in dry, and that's a bit of a blunder. There were flashes on Carson. I don't quite know what the idea was there, because that would have been lethal. Carson, though, still could make it so. He's got rotations coming in. Now the utility's starting to drop, but that smoke is missed. Oh, Junior,
no.
Speaking of misses, that one could be costly. Couldn't pluck the player from the air, and Fang punishes him for his mistake. Speaking of punishing, all right, we're just keeping it going here, one after another, down to the last man, and CJ funnels into death.
Phenomenally played by Fang, honestly. I mean, he gets that one onto Junior, capitalizes on the mistake, doesn't give Junior a second opportunity at it, and then waits, realizing, hey, they're probably going to rotate full on to try and get this one, and Carson's not even looking behind that box.
Let's talk about that ramp fight.
Yes.
You have 3 players on B. You double set up on ramp with the 2 rifles. The guy behind has a flash and a smoke. You telling me that flash isn't destined for the clear? This is a lethal fight. There's 3 players looking at it. If there's a flashbang that comes over there, that could have been the round-winning moment for Nouns.
It's weird because Carson typically does set up his teammates for flash. He's second on the team with 0.69 flashes thrown per round, only behind Junior at 0.73. But I don't understand why he doesn't go for that. And he had it too. And then they throw it afterwards for Carson to peek, but it should have happened way before that for the previous 2 players.
Yeah, I think this is maybe them getting into their heads a little bit. We talk about Nouns as a momentum team. They're not feeling it. Maybe you just, not even thinking about the fact that the flash is available in that moment. It's the little things, though, that are costing them. Definitely costing them. We have seen a little bit of sketchy utility from both sides, I would say.
Yeah.
This round, we're going to see a try take of A. They've realized that players are more often playing in Donut than on the site itself, and now that bomb is down. Holding on to this is never an easy feat. But when your opponent doesn't have much to shoot with,
well, they also have nothing to lose, right? Because they are going to buy the next round anyway, so they're going to try and charge through. Carson gets 1, but yeah, well, even though they have nothing to lose, they still die. That'll do it. 6E padding his stats a little bit with the 2K there. 7-0 for the Party Astronauts. And really, it hasn't been 6E. It's been Fang who's come out with these impact frags. 10 on the board.
I mean, there were 3 in that round, but he was in defense of the site. He's strutting his stuff. He's spreading his wings nicely here. Yeah. And that's what PA were hoping for when they brought him over from Boss. He's an ascending young talent. He's still very young. What, 21, 22?
Yeah, 21.
22 at this point.
22, really? Okay.
Yeah, he's had his birthday. Just recently, I believe.
Yeah, it was.
Happy birthday, Fang, whenever that was. But a young player. Still with a lot to give as a talent. Molotov on. Oh, that smoke pop would have been lethal. It is indeed. Here we go. Now they're putting this together. Rosh has done some serious work. It's looking like finally Nouns might just be able to get around on the board. The question becomes, what can Fang and Wolfie cook? Because even if they can do damage here, that could be massive. They're so isolated. Fang on the other side of the map. There's time, but Fang right now is trying to pull a fake. I don't know if they've seen the bomb. Actually, they crossed the AWP once more. This could be a problem. Fang! Oh, that headshot would have totally sold it. As it is, Wolfie has gained space. Might even be able to get a bomb plant off of this. But he wants the kills. He wants to give himself a chance. Spotted. Yeah, George has seen him. He's calling over his comrades. They know. And the stack up. Too many crosshairs on the other side.
There we go. Finally, a stop coming through from the Nouns side. Party Astronauts stymied, but they have plenty of money. So they're going to buy right back into this one. I like the defense they set up towards that B set. I also like the effort from the Party Astronauts in that round to try and get the bomb planted. Fang, like you said, if he hits that headshot and he gets that frag, then it pulls at least one player off of B, leaning into a 1v1 situation at most. Maybe even a free plant can come through, and then it could be a different round, but it just doesn't happen. Credit to Fang, though. It was a great attempt at faking the execute towards that site, and of course, maybe getting an important frag. Anyway, we run into this round. It's round number 9. Infinite. Gonna throw that nade on forward. Party Astronauts slowing it down just a touch because they don't want a repeat of that previous one. Now they're moving in. Good flashbang thrown for Donut. CJ's completely blinded, so he has to fall off here. Lots of time left for PA to work with, but look who has slipped through, potentially into the back lines. It is Fang again.
This could be a problem. Look at where the Donut players are watching. Carson seems to be aware of this. All right, they've gotten wise to it. Look at how much focus there is just on Fang. Just on clearing this back out. Can he still punish? Oh, no. Carson snaps around in time, but do they realize that this means that it's late on B? Now it's trying to rotate to adjust to this, but smokes are going to be down. He might actually be locked out of this. It's a little spicy. 60 can't collect. Had the spam, but George slipped out of the position just in the nick of time. Look at the health. Oh,
what?
He's gone through. He's gone through. Infinite want to take matters into his own hands. It works for one, nearly for two. 60, if they can solve this out, look at 60. He's going walkabout. He's trying to find the flank. They're not going to expect this because Fang was in this position, but I don't think he's going to get here in time. Yup, forced wide, and yeah, 60's being watched. It all falls to Ben. He's not got the health. He's not got the chance. 2 rounds chained back to back, and Nouns keeping 4 alive here. Sean, they've given themselves a chance to build.
Yeah, nice little cushion built up. I think that's 3 alive in the previous round, 4 alive left here. Nouns have that economic foundation. They've got a little bit of that momentum. We just mentioned they're a streaky team, and it feels like they are going to go on a little bit of a run here. Party Astronauts still have enough money in the bank. 4 AKs, the op full util. They've got all they could possibly need, but it just feels like they're doubting themselves a little bit. The confidence slipping away. And Nouns taking advantage of a little bit of a cautious attempt at a take onto that site. And even 60, you know, you saw him falling back. And we'll get back to that discussion. Or maybe we won't, because CJ is going to get the opener onto Fang. 60 gets 2, but 2 on back from Nouns. So we're sitting at a 3v2 in their favor. Carson's got all this space gained up towards the double doors at B. And we talked about it. He is a man of his convictions. He will continue putting the pressure on, getting on those front lines, and either sacrificing himself to get one or staying alive and keeping the pressure on.
I think if they do stick around, they've got a very isolated fight up with Carson. They have to wait these smokes. And eventually, Nouns are going to shift things up. They're playing so far back elsewhere on the map, and Carson's now going to match his teammates' tempo. This feels important. Just so that they're not going to get run down. Ooh, here comes the wrap. CJ's adjusted to play closer to his teammate. 50 seconds. They're coming back out. What's the routing? They've still got plenty of time. They're clearing the Jag. This feels like they've made their choice. Trying to isolate out a player. They got smokes for the chokes. This could be a bomb plant. They want the element of surprise and Infinite. If he slips up forward. CJ might not be ready for this. Wolfie's on the line. Does he turn around? No. Didn't realize it. Could have Carson dead to rights. He does indeed. The snap around the Molotov. Oh, just dodges. CJ's past it, though. And now they know. The bomb's ticking away.
Oh,
the
man.
Jig might be up. A smoke in his face. A Molotov behind it. He can't go through. The way is trapped. It's locked. There's booby traps and there's nades. Junior, what do you got? Junior? Up on the line, a peek into Wolfie. First up here, position revealed. And with time not on his side, with no more util, Junior's got no appetite for this one. He just wants to be allowed to get away.
Wow. What a stop for the Party Astronauts to that 2-round win streak. Coming out, taking B with authority. Fantastic movement onto this one. And Infinite, who feels like he's starting to wake up in a big way. Hasn't necessarily had the biggest impact so far in this series, but man.
Dude, it's all positioning and game sense with Infinite.
Yeah.
That is something he's always been impressive, you know, as a talent. He was one of those guys. Yeah, a mechanical talent, sure. But it's always been about the positioning. It's always been about exploiting these gaps. And that one, ooh, it almost felt like he'd missed a trick when he didn't realize where CJ was playing. By carrying it through, it actually becomes much, much, much more impactful.
Oh, yeah. So, I mean,
Early
look.
B control.
Yeah.
I mean, look, however this one ends, 8 rounds already found on this T side feels massive.
Exactly what I was going to say, Mike. And I mean, look, Wolfie's already down to 28, 60 at 32. This utility barrage is pretty painful on the party astronaut side, but they're not giving up the space. They don't want to. Molotov gets rushed down to 22, but he does manage to spam Infinite down through the smoke, and 60's on 1 HP. He has to be careful with how closely he steps forward to rush, and he'll probably hear that they're retreating, so he's going to take the space they've given up. Is their utility? There's plenty. He's not using it. He's walking to his death. George, a freebie. 5v3 for Nouns. Oh, CJ gets another one, and it's not looking good for the party astronauts at all.
Oh, but there's the first step. Problem is this bomb being down. CJ, oh, okay, Wolfie, not going to quite hit him on that flick. I know at this point this should be impossible for Fang. There should be no way, no world, no how. There's only 1 round left in the half. He's probably just going to save this. It is worth keeping this AK up in the next. I don't know what their loss bonus is right now, but it's not substantial. I think 1900, right? Maximum. So yeah, you're going to want to save this if you're Fang.
No, it's reset back to 1900, I believe, or maybe even 1400. But anyway, look, it's not great. You're right. Going to the last round, you want as much firepower as you can get. And Fang will absolutely be saving. Just a really good defensive effort put up by Nouns there. Great utility usage on ramp, really softened up the party astronauts and made it a little bit easier. And then even in cave, excuse me, it was Rush, you know, getting that frag, bringing 60 down to 1 HP, and 60 just wandered out into the open, cleared the wrong side, and that was, at that point, I feel, the end of the round, because party astronauts, or sorry, party astronauts, Nouns could never find a way back in. Or, I was right, party astronauts. Mike, I'm losing a little bit, huh?
One of these teams. One of these teams. Look, it's the last round. It's the last purchase. It's the last buy. It's the last hurrah for this half. A great half as far as the party astronauts are concerned, but it always feels a little better when you win the last. Not a lot of weaponry to show for this one. And so they'll take this towards A. Junior is going to be under pressure. He has had a tough one, I would say. We've seen a lot of misses. And when he's uncomfortable, it's not always a great omen on for now. So if he could start to get a little bit of those juices flowing here and now, that'd be nice for sure. Flashbang to push him off. He's running. They hear him. Molotov, pressure on. CJ biffed that molly, so they're burning, and CJ's out of there. Junior to follow. I think that was a CT incendiary that just caught the wrong lip. Oh, Wolfie on the edge of this smoke. Rush trying to slow this down, but he has to back away. George still with a lot of ground to cover. The bomb's being planted. And now with that ticking away, they want to isolate this fight onto Junior. They know he's here, and he's missed the shot. No, he did connect.
What?
And George lines him up. A collat off of the AK. They were both so low. So it's Fang who's got to be the hero. Fang who's got to deliver now for his team. Rush and George on the other side, but we know Fang can cook in these situations. If Rush isolates, oh, he's got the read, he's got the idea, he's got the swing. We will have 4 rounds for Nouns as they try and claw back Ancient, but for now, the half. And we're back in to the second half, to the final half of play here between Party Astronauts and Nouns. It's commanding lead for PA. And if they can just close here, they'll move on for a date with Destiny. Destiny being wild card in the consolidation final. But Nouns finally found a bit of life there at the tail end of the half. Finally putting some rounds together and giving themselves something. 4 of the last 5, at least, to build on.
Yeah, I would argue that lead is a little less commanding, honestly, Mike, than it appears because of how much Nouns were able to put together at the tail end of that first half. Winning, 3 of the last 4 rounds?
4 of the last 5, even.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, I didn't realize it took them so long to get into it. It was 7-0. Anyway, Nouns are going to be charging out here towards an A site that is very, very vacant. They haven't been able to pull together many pistols. Party Astronauts have been winning most of them. But now, I mean, they absolutely would love to get it, cut the lead to 3, and maybe even more than that with conversions off of it.
I mean, bomb plant's all but guaranteed here. For Wolfie, it's about not getting run down by this stack funneling in towards the donut. Want to put the pressure on him. They want to turn the screws, and 60, the first one through this smoke. He's going to be punished. This is getting weird in the donut. Wolfie can't finish his food. And Ben Leet now with all to do and nothing to find.
Well, that's certainly one way to kick off this second half. Commanding take of that A site and then just domination in the post plant. Alrighty, Nouns. They've got 3 MAC-10s, an AK, and a Galil. Do Party Astronauts force? Doesn't look like it. I think they want nothing to do with an investment in this round. Only a flashbang purchased up by Ben Leet. We'll see if they go for a heavy stack towards one of the sites. You'd imagine they will. It looks like it'll be mostly towards A. 3 players are into mid. And they're hoping that Nouns walk into this web of USPs. They do! Infinite gets 1. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, Carson's gone. They've got guns up here. I mean, the B site's going to be taken, but this could be problematic.
Still surely not. It's the 2 Molotovs that give me pause here. 2 mollies and the mags. They can make this site very strange. Very uncomfortable. There goes the first. Push the player off of the long angle, and Russian Jr. now going to be chiming in. CJ's found a gap between the flames as well. That's a nice one. And indeed, in the post plant, it just becomes very tough to actually do anything with these unarmored pistols.
At the very least, they do damage to the economy. A little bit of Nouns.
Surely.
You know, a couple of frags come through, and Nouns lose, I think, an AK?
I believe it was just 2 MAC-10s.
Yeah, you're right. Just 2 MAC-10s lost, so it's not a big deal. But 6th round picked up by Nouns, and now they have a chance to make it only a 1-round deficit. But the Party Astronauts will be coming to play. They've got the full buy-up coming through. Won't have the AWP, but will be able to afford a couple of FAMASas and 3 A1Ss along with a very decent chunk of util. On the other side, sort of a bonus round for Nouns. I mean, they did lose a couple of MAC-10s in the previous one, but still pretty healthy in terms of economy as we run into round number 15.
Ben Leet sacrifices head armor to get a kit. Just keep an eye on that in case he comes into a duel with a MAC-10. Oh, and it's going to be fast. Ben Leet's going to have his hands full. There's a MAC-10 on their way. Ben, though, cuts it down. Can't quite find a second. But here's Fang, and Fang won't find a whole lot more. Decent damage done. Wolfie tried to slip through the CT smoke. PA rushing things a little bit into these retakes, trying to deny the bomb plan. And Infinite, can he find a spacey? Oh, he's got the lineup. So that bomb is in fact denied, but he's getting blanked upon, and he's now ready for this. Junior cuts him down to size, and it all falls to 60. Up ahead of this smoke. A second one dropped right in his face, and Junior follows the chasers through.
Wow. Nicely done. From Nouns again, going into that site, it felt like Party Astronauts had a chance to punish Fang in particular. There was a line for him. He wants that back. There's no question in my mind because it felt like he could have easily flicked for a couple of frags. I say that. It's a tough situation no matter which way you slice it, but I mean, Crosshair placed a little bit higher and maybe hits the heads instead of the bodies for damage. All right, moving on. Party Astronauts are going to go for a half buy here. A little bit of armor on 3 players. 3, make that 2 5.7s, and a couple of other pistols along with an MP9. Rush and CJ are lined up here at the double doors to B. Infinite could be threatening, perhaps, with this MP9. If Nouns play it right, it should be able to get isolated. Nade sails through. Rush, very wary of a potential push to come through. 60 on the other side. He's jiggle peeking. He's going to throw the smoke as soon as he spots someone, but he could be dead before it actually blooms. Okay, now he decides to throw it early. Just hearing that Molotov got him a little bit rattled. Oh, Fang with the CZ. You don't see it used much, and, well, it didn't connect for anything in that. Anyway, George going to get the opener.
It's a nice one to have. Just to whittle away these numbers in the lesser by. Peel them away before you might get into the stack. And still with this mid-control. Ooh, with the Wolfie. Wolfie's trying to slip in behind him. Problem is, this has left Donut very vacant. If George calls him over, this line could matter not at all. They've heard the liquid flames a couple times on the 60, but they still seem to have their sights set on this B site to swing on in. Infinite stacks too. That's the bomb. That's the bomb. He wants to get close, but he's not prepared for all of that presence outside of the cave. Wolfie might be unexpected, but the bomb drops a little too far forward for him to do much of anything about this.
Gun.
Okay, hold on. No armor. The bomb ticking away. This shouldn't be possible, but he'll catch. He'll get a little bit of a punish. The bomb isn't planted for anybody. Goes back to check the flank, but now Carson is maneuvering around. He does love this slip out towards the ramp.
He's going to stick it.
He is.
No?
No, pulls off.
Really?
Okay. Seeding this round, looking for more damage, looking for the kills. Can't find those either. It's decent damage. It's something. But the round win, it will not be.
All right. Well, I mean, good effort there for Wolfie. Might have been better just to save the AK and bring it into this round, but it's all right, I suppose. Maybe not, because Party Astronauts had a 7-0 lead. Nouns have won 8 of the last 9. The Party Astronauts have seen that big lead just completely and totally disappear. Now Nouns on their T side. It's a side that they do tend to perform better on pretty much every single map, given their style of play. And they are going to charge out here towards this B site. Feels like they already want to peek around with the AWP. Oh, that nade is so chunky. Junior down to 39. Rush at 77. Infinite waiting here to finish the job, and he won't get anything, though. Now the reinforcement trying to arrive from 60, but the flashbang is fantastic from Carson. That's what we needed to see from him in that previous half, and they are going to indeed pull the plug.
Look at who's lighting the way for this team right now. It's Rush. This man, they added him because they wanted experience, because they wanted a calming voice, because they wanted that presence in the roster. They snatched him away from Party Astronauts, and maybe that's something that PA are missing right now. Because, look, this isn't why Nouns signed him. But going 21-9, leading the charge in towards sites and ripping heads, it's sure making a difference.
I mean, if you look in terms of disciplined play, Nouns have been way more disciplined since Rush has joined, and the Party Astronauts were heading in that direction with him as a part of that squad. And I was really worried when they lost him, because Party Astronauts were on a really good trajectory, and you can't help but, like we said before, feel for PA with all the roster changes that come through. One by their own choice, but this one, losing Rush, was not, you know? So, well, Nouns benefiting from it. Party Astronauts not so much. And Nouns will have their first lead of Ancient, which didn't even feel like a possibility with the way that first half was playing out. And I think the even more impressive part of it is that they're doing it without one of their, I would say, best players in terms of at least creating space on this map, and that's Carson.
Sometimes, you know, if you're making the space and someone else is getting the kills, that's A-okay. Wolfie, though, finally going to get an opening answer here for the Party Astronauts. Let's see if that can change their fortune. Flashbang is lethal, and he's just staring into the void. The void that'll be filled by Rush.
Oh, 60 is so low on health, and those bullets were kind of being spammed right near him. One step in the wrong direction, he's dead. I feel like a heavy lean for the Party Astronauts towards that B site. Now they're going to realize, okay, we've given up way too much space on A. They have the reinforcements arrive. That's Temple for 60 with the AWP picked up off the ground, and a player donut, Ben Leet. He tested. They spot him. They know he's here. That's problematic. Now he's trapped. Oh no, Ben. It's done. Yeah. Carson finds it. 60 misses the shot with the op. Now he's going to get mollied out of position. And rotations will come through to A. It might be too late. No, 60 does connect, but it's the trade. And then a follow-up from CJ. That'll likely mean the round is over. Infinite. Will he try to clutch it? I mean, he looks like he wants to at least try here. Connects on Carson down to 18, but not finishing that frag means that he falls back.
Yeah, no way. No way, no chance. I'll just have to bail on out. Has been the case so often here for the Party Astronauts, really since the half switch. They have not been able to get into the atmosphere of these round wins. Dead on entry. Unfortunate. But Nouns, I mean, they're loving this. They are loving this, considering they didn't have a kill, or, sorry, not a kill, a round win until 17. This is quite the turn of fortunes. When we consider that now, Party Astronauts have won 1 of the last 11 rounds.
Did we say Nouns are a streaky team? Yeah, they're a streaky team.
They're a streaky team. They are the definition of a streaky team, and so you can't let them heat up. Yeah, no. You might have been looking at the half scoreline and going, well, it's an 8-4. That's great for PA. But you let them build. You let them get heat. You let them get some mojo back. And now the Nouns are punishing you for it because they're taking that mojo all the way to the bank. Pause comes in. Party Astronauts, maybe that's a little late, to be quite frank, considering you've had a 10-1 slide. But they'll start to use their timeouts here.
Hop is on the ground for Wolfie to pick up. Just probably talking about the adjustment they need to make to their defense. Where does the op go? I think that's the important piece here. Wolfie, he's been present. He's had some interesting plays, but since they've kind of gone on this really poor losing streak, it's, you know, everyone's fallen silent, not just him. 60, waiting at the top of the ramp, and Nouns are going to push in. They're going fast. Rush, the tip of the spear, eliminated immediately. Trade comes through for CJ, but look at the damage. Oh my goodness. Infinite finishes off CJ. They're trying to return some damage on the other side. Oh, George could punish. He's going to slip in on the flank. He could do absolutely everything if he is not spotted. Fang is so distracted with what's happening up front that he doesn't realize George has slipped in here. George could get a freebie. Oh, the trigger discipline. I thought he was going to wait longer. He gets one. That means the A site is really clear, and he's probably going to call for his teammates to rotate around. This one is certainly on.
It absolutely is. If they go through A main, this is just about bang on. Wolfie will be stuck in Donut. He's trying to pick up on that so that he doesn't get flanked out by George here. Here's them rotating through A main. He's calling for it. He's calling for his teammates. Oh, but he pulls off the angle. He pulls off the angle just as the player would have crossed with the bomb. Wolfie now burning. Gets the man advantage, at least for his team, but that timing did not work in his favor. Bomb going to be down. Wolfie crosses. They're trying to work Infinite back in towards spawn, but look at the health of these Donut players. They cannot sustain a fight, and going before Infinite can activate, that's going to cost them. Infinite, speaking of which, just got caught. We'll spot that out. But a lot of work to do in this clutch. The A-main player. It's on to Junior. He's not got his trusty AWP. But there's the first tap. Junior with the check. There's the headshot on. The kid is here. Infinite has just saved their bacon. He's just pulled them out from the flames. He's kept the Party Astronauts fighting.
Ooh, luckily for Infinite, he was full HP in all of those duels and only took a little bit of damage from Junior. Carson, very bold on his part to hold a donut with 1 HP. I mean, he gets both frags on the other low HP players, so nicely done there. But Infinite, he goes for the clutch this time in the 1v2. And he pulls it off, so he keeps the Party Astronauts fighting on this map with a 9th round picked up, but the money is still pretty good. Actually great for now. So they're going to have a full buy coming through once more. They're going to call a timeout on their side. Their second to talk things over and see where it might have gone wrong there. It was very, very close. Infinite just a little bit better.
So if we go to the races here. This round has so much focus on it now. Right, for party astronauts, they have to do this the hard way. There's going to be buys on buys on buys on buys on buys. As long as Nouns keep planting, they're pretty much going the distance. PA and Infinite specifically, they've created the opportunity. A little slower from Nouns, not beating down the door initially. They're holding on to this B main control. Rocking with it. The adjustment is Ben Leet is deep in towards A. Seen a lot of these B stacks. Haven't seen much of this adjustment. With no mid presence from either side, this is definitely a different look to what we're used to. It's a full-on B take. Nobody's ahead of these choke point smokes. This could be a very tough retake, and Infinite is fortunate not to get caught there. The nade chases. He's down to 17. Spam going both ways. Look at the health ball. They put the bomb down on the dirt. Now somebody has to plant this thing.
I feel like everyone wants to fight, right? I mean, there we go. Finally, it's grabbed by Junior. Says, hold on, I'll take care of this. The smokes are fading, though, so it's an opportunity for the party astronauts to flash themselves back into the fight. Junior misses a critical shot. George is up close. They might overlook him. He peeks out, gets one, goes back into cover, goes out again, and in the meantime, there are frags coming out everywhere. 3v3. Junior finds Wolfie, flicks around and gets Fang as well, and Carson wraps it up with a pretty bow. 11-9 in favor of Nouns. What a battle there.
Talk about a guy where it's been a story of two halves. Junior 4 and 5, I think, the time of the halftime break.
Yeah.
Very uncomfortable. Couldn't settle in at all on the CT side. Now, I mean, that round is lights out, but we've had multiple of these where he is closing, where he's finishing, where he's making it happen for Nouns. A flick around the pillar, and that might have just seen them traverse into the realms of the consolidation final, because look at what PA have.
Oh, boy.
This is just their second timeout now being used as they try and figure out what they can risk, what they can wager, how much they want to put into this round.
They have the full loss bonus to fall back on, Mike, so I think they can invest a little more heavily into this one to give themselves the best chance possible, and then they'll have, of course, a pretty strong buy afterwards, you would imagine, as long as they manage their economy well. On the other side, yeah, Junior, I mean, it's weird because usually he performs very well on the CT side of this map, because that's usually where you expect the Opera to do well. Just now he's on the T side and he's popping off with big plays. That last round, it cannot be overstated how much those two frags mattered in securing things. Now, party astronauts want to get aggressive. They're trying to get into the face of Nouns, and, well, they've read wrong. It's towards the A site, and only one player is here. It's Wolfie. He gets one. The second as well. Oh, my goodness.
Wolfie.
That's so much work done. CJ manages to bring things back under control with a couple of frags, but it's a 3v3. And, I mean, party astronauts now have a path in, potentially.
It's not impossible, but it is improbable. CJ caught. The miss, Junior. Not a time to go missing, so now he's got to deliver. The dualies are out on play, but it's Rush who is so far isolated from this. They don't know that, of course. But there's a smoke up in his face. They could get on this tap. He's hearing enough noise that he's trusting they're not on this bomb, and now that they make the move, he's not revealing himself. Oh, the patient game from the savvy veteran. This is working beautifully. Now they get on the stick. He's found the fight. He's found the first. Does he check? He does indeed. And so map point will be put on the board. So calm, cool, and collected from Rush.
Look, that is the discipline that was lacking from the party astronauts on Mirage, on Inferno as well, and you see it. If they had Rush, I still think it would be a different story for the way they play the game. And look, how beautiful is that? Just waiting and waiting and waiting. They try to fake it twice. It doesn't work. Eventually they have to stick it. They know that there's nothing to do except try to get that defusal at the end. And I mean, once Rush finds that first, it's an easy conversion on the second. Beautifully done by the vet. 12-9, 3 rounds for Nouns to close out the map and the series and head into that lower bracket final for a chance at a spot in the ESL Pro League.
Rush,
24-12 for Rush. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a man on a mission. He is a man on a mission in this map. He was the same thing on Inferno. Couldn't close it there, but he has been the engine propelling Nouns forward in so many of these rounds. That's a nice find. Carson, I think, just trying to see if he could get cheeky and walk out A. It's a 3-man stack on A, so this has been the adjustment for PA. Now shifting into this mid-space, Fang is just completely telegraphing where he's going. He's put a lot of faith that they're not in the red room, and that's faith that's not going to be rewarded. Fortunately, he turns into time, so they got the information. What can you do here? Ben gets one. Might just be enough.
Maybe. But look at the A site. I mean, you got players coming from both
Wolfie.
angles. That's exactly... I mean, what can he do? He was trapped, right? There's 2 players coming in at him. And George hits the insta headshot on Infinite. Oh, man. It just looked like Party Astronauts were going to extend this a little bit further, but Fang could still do it.
He could. Trying to keep their faith. Trying to keep their fortunes afloat here. It's all on Fang's shoulders. He's got the kit. He's got some time. Sneaking around in this smoke. He's just going to stick it. He's just going to stick it. He's just going to stick it. Do they believe? Do they believe? Here comes the check, but the op shot's off, and Fang has saved them. It's just by the slimmest of margins. Milliseconds at that. But Fang puts his nuts out on the table and keeps Party Astronauts in this game.
What a huge round to find, too, and in a big way. I mean, that's like high fives all around type of moment when you get that defusal in a situation where it seems so unlikely. And I mean, Nouns played it so very well, taking that site. The shots were wondrous, especially George, that headshot into Donut. But Fang just slipped on through, decided that sticking to the fusel was the best course of action, and he was absolutely right. Now he's going to get aggressive towards mid. He wants to open this up with a frag, pulls to the util at a bit of an inopportune time, but he doesn't get punished for it. So now he's going to jump up into lane where Rush is. He has been the piece that has been so good for Nouns, but if they lose him early in the round, that could be problematic, and Fang is in a very good spot to punish this smoke bait. Sees the barrel first. There it is.
Nice instant spamming towards the elbow smoke as well. The react, where you can get punished from. Oh, a push, that's a bomb confirmed. 60 just gets antsy, and it works beautifully. Now Nouns are on the back foot. Watching what felt like a sure thing maybe start to come apart at the seams. George is stuck. George is so stuck. George is the most stuck, but he will unstuck himself. Wants to chase this in. Wolfie coming to it. This could be punish. Oh, George! By George, he's done it! How on earth?
Well, but hold on a second.
He was painted into a corner.
Yeah.
He never should have escaped. Instead, he turns it around for 3. There's still more work to do.
Yeah.
There's still more work to do. It's Infinite who's on this side of the map. 6C. A long ways away.
Infinite hears this.
That's going to be the tap. That's going to be the confirmation. Now they know where the bomb is. Now 60 can get active, but this bomb is going to be planted. 60's got a nade, but I don't know that he'll ever get a chance to pull that pin. George has just slipped him. He's got the flank on the first. George able to bring that through. It would take the ace. It would take the ace here, but Infinite doesn't have a kit. So it's all about toying with time, toying with expectations. He realizes he's off the bomb. But there's the tap. There's the swing. Infinite. One more bullet. And it's the Pro League. But George cannot find that final blow. That final kill. The ace denied. And Infinite once more pulls this team out.
Wow. Infinite, the replacement for Rush on this Party Astronauts squad, is a big reason why they've gotten to 11. Fang as well, of course, added recently. Also got that defusal in the smoke the previous round, but Infinite's been the one to clutch out those 1v1s and really help them get some rounds here on the CT side. That's been an immense struggle. Now Nouns, they still have enough money for a buy-up because that's how dominant this half has been for them. But they're at their last chance of 3 to close this series out in regulation and send themselves to that lower bracket final. Party Astronauts are hanging in there. It's a valiant effort to get them to this point. They just need one more round and we're even again and things are reset.
You think about the clutches we've had.
Oh my
crazy
God.
moments. Yeah. The stick on the defuse. So many improbable seconds of clutches coming through. just to give Party Astronauts this chance to get them to the precipice of overtime. And even here, there will be limitations. There will be struggles. There's certainly not going to be an AWP. Far from perfect. And Nouns, whether you win by an inch or a mile, it doesn't matter. The win is all that counts. Series point on for Nouns. Do or not quite die. We get pretty dang close. Carson's got a techie. Did just notice that. So there are limitations here for Nouns. But let's go. The last minute 55 potentially of this map. Unless the Party Astronauts can make some magic happen.
Party Astronauts. Oh, the utility's coming out in a very big way. They're getting aggressive here outside of B. It doesn't really connect for much damage, though. And now say, okay, you guys didn't do much damage. Let's try and hunt some fights. Infinite gets one, traded out immediately. They still have two more players clear out here. They don't realize Wolfie's over at long B, but Wolfie whiffs the shot. 60's blindsided by Carson, and Wolfie's traded up by George, who gets two more. This could be it. Ben Leet, the last player that stands in the way of Nouns, and that lower bracket final up against Wildcard, and he has to go through a smoke to get this, Mike.
He has to indeed. He has to indeed. He's got some util, but getting past this first choke point, it's just going to require aim. Junior on the other side of things. On this fade. Oh, he's re-smoked.
He's got another smoke.
There's never going to be a chance, but the popper actually works beautifully for his advantage. Oh, it's been a blunder here. They might have just let Ben leap back into this, but George will make sure that's not going to be the case. His 25th kill sees Nouns go through. They are in the consolidation final. They are one step away from the ESL Pro League.
Wow, that was an intense finish to a series that was very tightly contested on two maps. The second one not as much, but it delivered exactly what we hoped for from these two teams.